I believe I finally got it working. Oh my goodness. Hello everyone. I am sorry for the wait. Can you hear me? Am I audible to everyone in the chat? Oh, I see myself on the monitor here. Okay, so it sounds like everything's good. Music. I didn't hear the music. If you can't tell, it has been a bit of a stressful day. Let me know if the music is too loud. Let me know if you could hear me. Okay. Hi. Alright, are you going to the Gorillaz House of Kong soon? You have no clue. That, like, I debated. I live in the US. And I literally debated taking off work and going just for the I wanted to go to all 4 days of the concerts. Like, dude, Gorillaz, like the entirety, Demon Days, Plastic Beach, Secret Show, dude, that's like a dream come true. So yeah, how is everyone doing, everyone? Unfortunately, I won't be able to go to the House of Kong because without the concert, then it's it's, in my opinion, I'm sorry, it's too much of a, I have too much going on. You're going to the Plastic Beach one? That's awesome. Music is loud, we can hear you, okay. Turning down music. Alright, let's catch up here because I know I'm late. Like, literally, if things could go wrong, it did go wrong. So I've been sick this past weekend, and the time that I would have been preparing for this, making sure that everything is up and running, I was asleep. I slept for 29 hours straight. Well, not straight. I woke up for 1 hour and to get like a bowl of cereal, but that was it. Other than that, 29 hours. So I haven't been feeling good. Okay. Hey, what's up, Gregory? Long time no see. I will be getting into my absence and hopefully my my return here soon. Okay, so real quick, I just wanted to say, if you have been to live streams before, you may have recognized in the last one, in the last live stream, that I was in a different location, and that's because I moved. Pretty cool, huh? So now I have my own place, and so that means I can do whatever I want. For example, moving. So before I was in the living room. I was in the corner of the living room, but now I've got my own little office area. It's freaking sweet. So yeah, I have I want to get some more lights to light that up back there. And as my friend said, it looked like my wall was on fire with the self-titled light up there. I'm not for sure if you can see it. Yeah, I'm looking at it here, and it doesn't even look like anything, but trust me, it says self-titled. So yeah, I've upgraded a little bit, and even then, so I wanted to say that I'll get into the reasons why later, because this is for Gorillaz. This isn't for me updating you on my cool room, okay? We will be getting into Gorillaz soon, but I will say that the reason why I haven't been uploading is because this next video idea that I have requires a little bit more, what's the word? Fanciness to it. Perfect word. So, check this out. Oh man, I really wish that there was a green screen in here. Is that not awesome? So I have all of my film stuff in there, like all my lights and mics and stuff. And now I can do that. I can make more high quality content involving green screens. So yes, I'm very excited to start making content again. All right, now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this, huh? All right, we'll start off with some more questions so that because I've been ignoring you guys for too long. All right, let's see here. Everyone's waiting. What time is it? Very important question. It is 7:13. All right, you have so many questions, DLC. Right, now's the time. Where's my favorite FNAF on consoles YouTuber? I want to ask about his collection, what he used to make the video, etc. So I had two cameras. One of them is this right here. This was the main camera. This is my Panasonic Lumix GH5 with a Sigma 24 to 70 on it. That was the main camera, and then I had another camera, my very first DSLR camera, a Canon Rebel TI3, and then literally I just had, you should have seen the living room. Like, it was like full of Gorillaz stuff. It was like all lined up, like one by one, and I just kept going in and just showing it off, and then all that. So that's very simplifying it, especially the editing process. That was a long time, but yeah. I just finished watching all the lore videos about 5 hours ago. You might have been the 1 millionth person to watch it. That would be freaking crazy, wouldn't it? If like you were the 1 millionth person. So, if so, congrats. Did Michael Myers kidnap you? How do you know that? Gregory, you're scaring me. How do you know about Michael Myers? Just kidding. No, see, the plot twist is that Michael Myers did not kidnap me. I am Michael Myers. So, are you going to Gorillaz House of Kong? W shirt, we can hear you. It's all good, it's all good. So music is loud. Okay, I think that should all be good. Starry Shark message retracted. What was that? Okay. What's your favorite Gorillaz song? Last Living Souls. Ironically, that was the second Gorillaz song that I've ever heard next to Intro. So I don't know if it is a nostalgia thing. I don't know if it's because I, is like what introduced me into the world of Gorillaz. Now, obviously, I've heard Feel Good Inc. and Clint Eastwood in passing, but whenever I like really got into Gorillaz, like whenever I listened to Demon Days for the first time, like, you know, I not know, like, oh, Feel Good Inc. is like in this Apple ad. No, I went straight to the deep end with Demon Days and Last Living Souls. I really, really love it. See, I really miss these live streams. I'm hoping, now that I have all this set up, because that is a huge part to why I haven't been making content, is because I've been busy setting this up. And I'm hoping that I can get back to it, especially since now I'm not in the living room. Like, this is my own space. You can't see, but I have a bunch of foam put up to hopefully bring the sound down, like the echo, because it was bad. How's your collection going? Have you added these items? Okay. Yes, I have added Demon Days live vinyl. The Tomorrow Comes Today reissue, I do. Unfortunately, you are so right. It's overpriced, but I did get it. I remember seeing, I was in a hotel. I was somewhere, I don't remember. But I saw it and I was like, oh my god, you're kidding. This sucks. Bye now. Actually, I think it was at a Ninja Sex Party concert. I think that was it. I saw it at a Ninja Sex Party concert. Gorillaz Demon Days recently turned 20. Oh my god, that's crazy. Nice TV. Thank you. I assume it's that one. And I have a bunch of game consoles in here connected to it, like the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the N64, GameCube, PS2, and Genesis. They're all plugged up, so I could just play them at any time. And hopefully I can, like, if I could get a cable long enough, then I can get it over here to where I can record. That's the goal, is to like play it over there, but then have it record over here. Okay. Let's go list on your favorite. Wow, that's freaking epic. You could put a spy photo or something like that in the back. On the back. I assume that's about the green screen. What was that? Can you put a spy photo or something? Oh man, I could use that for like these live streams. That'd be sick. I don't know. I like my background. I need to work on the lighting more. I don't like the lighting as of right now. As a matter of fact, you can see that I have those two lights over there, and they're just kind of lighting up the Phase 6 figures. So, you literally got me into Gorillaz. I'm glad, because Gorillaz are so much more than Feel Good Inc. and Clint Eastwood. And as of late, it has been, you know, She's My Caller got popular on Melancholy Hill. So Cracker Island, I think, did pretty good there for a little bit. So I'm glad that I could get other people in. I've gotten pretty much all of my friends into it. So I'm not for sure if they will be joining us tonight, but but yeah, I got all of them into it. That lizard from Sonic saying, hello! I'm sorry, I'm really bad at pronouncing names. Lukaka. If that isn't how you pronounce it, then that's how you pronounce it now. Favorite Gorillaz character? Come on, it's 2D. 2D. I freaking love 2D. 2D is my spirit animal. He's like so precious and needs to be protected at all costs, and somehow he ended up in Murdoch's arms. Ugh. You are Michael Myers. Yes, I am Michael Myers. I killed Persona 5 haters. Congrats, I can't count the number of times I've watched the vid. I'm so glad. I'm glad that you like it. It's actually, let me, okay. Would you play the old Gorillaz games on zombie hip hop? Unfortunately not. I got into Gorillaz in 2013. So I was able to play the Plastic Beach games. I got the one on iPad of where you're Murdoch and you have to like get 2D before he escapes. And then I can't remember if it was like a recreation or if it was like, no, actually no, I never played the Adventures of Plastic Beach as much as I wanted to. But I did play that 19-2000s game. That's fun. Are you gonna make a new Gorillaz video since you're making a new album? Yes, of course. Oh yeah, I have ideas to where like they're gonna go, and if so, then that would be freaking awesome. Top 3 Gorillaz collaborations. Okay. I'll have to get back to you on that. Friend Nancy, yeah, I got Friend Nancy into Gorillaz. She had listened to some before, but not like gotten really, really into it. But of course, you know, if you hang around me, I'm gonna just play Gorillaz and all the time, and then you'll slowly realize, hey, they're actually pretty good. Especially those songs that like grow on you. So, like you may not like it the first time, but you'll get to it. You'll get to liking it. Okay. Lou Poop. I'm so sorry. I mispronounced your name so bad I called you Lou Poop. That's exactly how you say it? Oh, well, never mind. Okay. My favorite Gorillaz character is 2D, Russell, and Noodle, but my mom hates Murdoch. Good, as all people should. I convinced my math teacher to get into Gorillaz lore. Alright, okay. Okay. So fun fact. I went and met Tom Kenny, and not only Tom Kenny, but also all the people who played Steve in Blue's Clues. And that fateful day, Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob, wrote down he was like, oh yeah, I worked with Jamie Hewlett on this Netflix show. And I was like, oh yeah, like I made this video, you know, it has like 600,000 views, like it's pretty cool. And he's like, oh, what is it? And then like, so he wrote it down, and it's possible that Tom Kenny is one of those. I think that Joe from Blue's Clues definitely was, because he seemed very interested in it. I'm sorry if you hear cats fighting. They're angry all the time. Yeah, it's possible that they were some of mine. All right. Okay, name a YouTuber for an edit. Self-titled productions. Is that right? Least favorite Gorillaz album. I'm not going to be a pansy, and I'm not going to say The Fall. So, all right. So if we're going strictly mainline, if we're going no G sides or D sides. You know what? I think this is going to be a very, very unpopular opinion, and I don't mean this that it's bad, like really, really bad. I'm just saying that the Gorillaz' self-titled album could have been cut down and made a a better album. So I think that's what I would have to go with. Now, obviously, G sides and The Fall are worse. I mean, they're still good. Like, they're still good. The Fall even has good merits to it. But if I'm going strictly mainline albums, Phase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'll probably have to say Gorillaz. It's weird for me to say, but because, like, you know, Humans definitely could be cut down, but I don't know. All right, let's see here. Friend Nancy versus Enemy Nancy. Ooh, I'd pay to see that. Okay. Hi, I'm a big fan of Gorillaz, and I remember the backstory very well. My first time here on the live stream. Nice to have you, Daniel. How you doing? All right. So, yeah. See, I like. Hello, Louie. How you doing today? So, yeah, I think that, like, because the first few songs are phenomenal. Great. They are, Man Research Clapper could, like, you know, it's okay. I think it goes on for a little too long, especially since, like, it's experimenting the way that it is. But, oh, excuse me. I think that, the second half of the album definitely slows down a lot in the country. If you know, you know. That's the stupidest thing I've ever said. So yeah, let's see here. In my opinion, I think that the highs of Humans don't quite reach. Like, I think like Humans and Gorillaz are at like a very similar level. If like literally all they had to do is keep the political stuff out of Humans and maybe refine the club sound a little bit, but yeah. Okay. Cracker Island is so overhated. I agree. I think that it is the definition of a 6.5 or 7 out of 10 album, especially whenever you consider the deluxe tracks. The deluxe tracks definitely bring it up to a 7. You were making a Gorillaz X Napoleon Dynamite cartoon. That is awesome. Oh my god! You're gonna have to like next time or just leave a comment anywhere whenever it's done so that I can know that it's like it's been made. So all right. So now, Don Chromatic. Replace sweepstakes with Don Chromatic. You talk about underrated songs. Sweepstakes is such a banger, especially live. I don't know if I could tolerate this sweepstakes hate in my chat though. Let's see what, because no, I get it. I understand that, you know, it's not the most popular. There are other songs that I would probably switch out for Don Chromatic. Don Chromatic definitely should have been on the album though. 100%. 100%. All right, so I am going to send a message to see if anyone wants to join, wants to hop in, and then we will watch the Gorillaz video. Probably not in full because it's like an hour plus long. And then I will offer any tidbits if you want to know where any of the information comes from. I've gotten a lot of comments about that. asking like where I found the information, I will point you in the direction. And if you have any questions, you just want to talk Gorillaz, I am 100% fine with that. We are here to celebrate what is technically, so the reason why self-titled productions blew up, quote unquote, is because I was like following Cracker Island's lore like to a T when it was coming out. Like, I mean, I was up to date on everything, and with every post, and like I would get more and more like informed with the story that's going on, but I would also notice people saying that they're confused. Like, yeah, I understand. I 100% understand, because not every loser is going to like keep refreshing the Gorillaz Instagram page for a new update, or like maybe like binge the Stewart podcast like whenever they drop like 5 episodes at a time, even though they're only like 30 seconds. And plus, like, it was all over. Like I said, there was a podcast, there was their Instagram posts, Murdoch did interviews. So whenever the Silent Running video came out, and it offered a pretty good conclusion to the story. Granted, it wasn't like concrete. Like, there was still some answers that came later, and then that's why I made it part 2. But whenever the Silent Running video came out, and like kind of everything went full circle, like, you know, like, so you're watching the Cracker Island video, and like 2D's in a hospital, he's drugged out, and like, what's going on? And then Silent Running, and then now they're like sacrificing him to a cult. Like, what is this? So I decided I'm going to do something new. I'm going to make a video essay. It's not new. I've made several video essays before, and then they've gotten like maybe like 10,000 views. But this one got 300,000 views, and I was able to let's just say branch out, and more people got to see it, see my content, also known as make money from it. But no, I'm seriously grateful, because like, you have no clue. So obviously people were wanting more, like, hey, go through the other phases, go through I want to know more, I want to know everything. So I did. And originally I was going to do phases 1, 2, and 3 in one video, and 4, 5, and 6 in another. But I wanted to be extremely comprehensive. I wanted like every major detail to like be in this video. So obviously now, like a year later, well, it took about a year from Cracker Island to whenever I finished the 4 through 6 video. It took about a year, and so I did, and it was extremely rewarding, because people were excited for the new installment. And whenever I finally like put it all together into one video, I didn't think it was going to get that many views. I truly thought that, you know, like, people's already seen, like, the people who care have already seen the videos as they were coming out. Little did I know that it was going to get 1 million views. That's crazy. And I want to thank each and every one of you for watching, for supporting, for being here. Like, I know I say this every single time. I say it every single live stream, and I sometimes in my videos with this. I never thought I would be here, live streaming to 12 people, having not 1 but 2 videos with 1 million views. You know, being able to have my content seen by potentially 19.2 thousand. So thank you. I thank all of you. Even the hold on. Okay, so let me catch up. Sorry for the emotional spiel. Ooh. If you shorten sweepstakes, no, yeah, I agree. Although I like the build up, like to the I love the build up to like the full like orchestral like breakdown. Favorite Gorillaz song? Last Living Souls. Easy. Don't want to get too personal, but what was your date of birth and when did you first get into Gorillaz? Okay, I got into Gorillaz when I was 13. So, and then that was in 2013. So, you can kind of like do the math. During the Buddy Brown had to replace him for study. Walmart got to sing with it. Real, I don't think I've heard Cloud of Unknowing live. I don't remember if they played that at my concert or if they've done it any of that I've watched. How do you like Do You Thing? Do You Thing is amazing, and it is criminal that it is not on anything. Not on Spotify, not on CD. You have to get like a freaking expensive vinyl in order to have it. Dude, it's crazy. It's like, it's such a good song. Ugh. My favorite Gorillaz song is Stop the Dams. And my hated song is Murdoch. It's got, okay. So, Stop the Dams. It sounds like you are very divisive on D sides. But, Stop the Dams, that's a really good choice. That's a beautiful song. I love it. I love it to death. But, and then Murdoch is God. See, I don't like the lyrical side of it, obviously. Murdoch hater right here. But however, the lore reason behind it, that being Murdoch locked 2D in a cage and forced him, like wouldn't let him out until he like gave him a song that he was happy with. And also, I'm a metal guy. I love metal, and that's the closest that Gorillaz has come to metal. So I love it. I think it goes hard. Could have done with a lyric change, but I think it's funny, especially since like he's like Jimmy is dead. Okay, yeah. Demon Days is my favorite album, but Plastic Beach is that is so freaking real. I can't decide. Like I think that Plastic Beach, I think I like it better than Demon Days, but I don't know. What do you know about the early live demo for Aluminum? Yeah, I know, I've heard it. Like, back in the day I was huge into like fan-made GDP side, so that, and that was one of the songs that I heard a lot, along with Apple Carts. I like that. I think that's just a Damon Albarn song though. Favorite Gorillaz album? Plastic Beach or Demon Days. I'm sorry. I have to go with the basic choice, but I can't help it. It's so good. Okay. Thank you for all the hours of entertaining content you've given us. Thank you for being here, Gregory, and showing up to all these live streams. Fist bump, man. Okay, just in your Gorillaz collection video, so then you know that I have I've spent way too much money on it. So you were born around either 1999 or 2000. There you go. It's one of them. Whether they're FNAF or Gorillaz or currently Sonic. Gregory knows my habits. They're all entertaining for anyone interested in the subject. I hope so. I really do. And I like, so I've been on a weird side quest as of late. Unfortunately, I can't talk about it because I had to sign an NDA. But my editing skills have been, like, I learned a lot. So hopefully that will show through, both in the effects and also just like shortening my workflow, like making it faster, like to produce content. We should watch a Gorillaz live tour. Honestly, that doesn't sound like a bad idea. What do you think of the fan-made 5-4 music video? Freaking awesome. Those guys rock. I heard they made a punk one too. I don't remember. I watched it the day it released, but I don't remember anything about it. I'll have to check that out. Favorite music video? I'll get to your comment in a second, Daniel. Favorite music video is... Actually, I'll get back to you, Side the Guy. Daniel Gonzalez, 42D, Murdoch is always... I know! yeah, I'm hoping, like, so many times Murdoch has changed his ways for the better, but I'm hoping that, well, no, because what does he immediately do at following Song Machine? Throws Stewart into a cult, and then like makes him like dig holes, and then he goes like next door and like befriends the rival cult, and then they like try to sacrifice him. At least that they showed up to rescue him, and Murdoch was genuinely like sad for him. He was very concerned. So I hope that they continue to have an everlasting friendship, but you know that's not going to happen. Murdoch has to be like the like the instigator for everything. Okay, so my favorite music video is, I'm going through my head right now every single one, and I think I gotta say, I'm thinking Saturn's Bars, simply because it was hype when it first came out, and it's beautifully animated. You know, they came back after 7 years. Hallelujah Money kind of scared us, because like we were like, this is what the next Gorillaz album is going to sound like. But then Saturn's Bars came around, and then along with Andromeda, Ascension, and We Got the Power, it assured us that it's going to be good. And then beautiful music video, super hype. Strobe light in hindsight is also good, but you know, everyone was wanting a lore heavy, like super animated. Okay, favorite movie. So It 2017 is probably my favorite movie. It's not my favorite horror movie though. My favorite horror movie is Halloween, the original. I just love the characters, and Pennywise is so iconic. And it's just I love it. I love the dynamic between the kids, and it's it's a very fun watch, and also it's gruesome. It was like I remember seeing it in theaters, and I was younger, and I was like I saw Pennywise bite off Georgie's arm. I was like, whoa, that's metal. That's brutal, man. Now if only I could have seen what I have seen now. But other contenders are Hot Summer Nights and Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think those are amazing movies. Sacrifices 2D to Get a Girl. Yeah, but he came back and rescued him. Do you think the new album's going to sound like it, and what the lore can be? Okay, so Damon is, if I'm not mistaken, he's in India, or he's recording it in India. And the Phase 7, Cracker Island, ends with them going to Mumbai. So I think it's going to be like, I think it's going to sound cultural. I think it'll sound like, it'll have more of a world, like an inspiration from all around the world. And that's what I'm hoping, because like Désolé on Song Machine was kind of like that, and I think that's an amazing song. Like, so I would love to hear like his take on different like cultures, or at least like you know. Okay, people still hate the fact that Noodle's original storylines. Yeah, so people still hate that, but they ran it back. So thank God for that. All right, I remember like I woke up and like I saw that people were like angry, and it's like, oh boy, what Gorillaz do this time? Are they putting out another NFT? And no, they just changed that. So there was a weird change, but I'm glad that they brought it back. Doesn't have to be about Gorillaz. Well, I don't know if they have movies. I think I've only heard one of their songs in my entire life. Yeah, so Gorillaz has had a few movies. Bananas, the documentary. Reject False Icons, the documentary. They released Demon Days Live as a documentary, or not a documentary, as like a live tour video. And then they also have like these compilation DVDs that have like all the music videos. That's pretty cool. Left Hand Suzuki Method fan-made music video is so cool. I have not seen that. I will pull it up because I want to check that out. Also, man, I'm getting off track. Hold on. Okay, so I'm so excited for the next. Yes, got me very interested in the story and the music and characters. I'm glad. I'm glad that I was able to get you into Gorillaz. It's always great finding out that like my interest has gotten other people into interests. Friends are going to be Gorillaz for Halloween. I'm going. Oh, nice. Oh, that's so cool. I went as 2D 2 years. Not in a row, but I have been 2D twice. What? Yes. Yeah, literally. Yeah, I think that looked awesome. I loved how Pennywise looked. You made a Family Guy scratch game, and I'd love for you to try it. Family Guy and scratch game. Is there like? I'm not like very familiar with Scratch. Also, why is my camera going crazy? So like, do you send like a link or something? How do? All right. Okay, so let's watch this video, because before I get any more distracted. Let's see. Okay, let me, I haven't touched this in so long that I forgot where everything is. I forgot which ones are which. So if it goes to something weird, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just gonna. How's it going, Kit Kat? Watched full lore video 3 times? That's awesome. Okay, I think I'm just dumb. Am I dumb? Oh. Wrong one. There we go. Now I need to be able to see me. Okay, cool. I need to make myself a little bigger because that's. Alright, Gorillaz, the complete backstory. So like I said, we probably won't watch it all, but we'll, like, if you guys have specific points that you want to go to, then we can do that, but we will. Let me make sure you could hear it, because you can't hear it.
Gorillaz.
There we go. All right. This thing has 1 million views. That's crazy. All right. Okay. Favorite Gorillaz character? 2D, without a doubt. Love them. Okay, my dad wants to take me to see Gorillaz live someday. They are awesome. I highly, highly recommend it. We should get Song Machine. Yeah, there's nothing in Song Machine. There's nothing. There's nothing to be alarmed about in there. So wait, is the new album thing for Gorillaz actually true? Yes, it's supposed to be coming out this year. Uh, Hello, Happy Tree Friends fan. How you doing? What do you think about the Gorillaz Netflix movie? Oh man. Oh man. All right, let's go.
Surface. Gorillaz. On the surface, they may seem like a simple animated band. Their music is experimental and strange, while the characters only exist in the music videos to push the gimmick. What if I told you that that is not the case? Their music is much deeper than the average song, and the characters? This band has such a vast story to tell that it would be impossible to include every tiny detail. Gorillaz has been building their story for 2 decades now, and I plan to chronicle it all into a comprehensive video. I've had this series where, phase by phase, I've looked at the story the band was trying to tell, and with the release of the final video last week, I could finally make this video a reality.
That's crazy. And how long ago was
Gorillaz
this?
lore works in phases, with each main album signifying what phase we're in. For example, their first album is phase 1, while their second album, Demon Days, is phase 2. If you want to skip to a specific phase, time codes will be in the description. As stated before, I can't cover every little tiny detail, like them ending a show in phase 1 due to 2D getting diarrhea. Using any method.
So I've gotten a lot of comments saying that they would love to see a video. Doesn't matter how long, but they would love to see the video where like I do everything. Dude, that would take forever. I truly think that would be a 10-hour video. Like, there's so much unnecessary stuff that, like, I love Gorillaz. I love them to death, and there's a lot of little funny things. Like, for example, the megaphone that 2D uses in the Feel Good Inc. video. He bought that from Toys R Us the day before, and then he annoyed Murdoch with it so much that he smashed it. So, like theoretically, I could like make a video with like funny things that happen in the lore that isn't talked about that much, but it's I truly couldn't make something like that, especially since they're so wide. Like everything is so like they'll probably put something in a newspaper ad that like that I just there's no way that I could have known, and so then it wouldn't be a truly comprehensive video.
The storytelling that they used, such as The Rise of the Ogre book.
Is that a picture of? Hold on.
Using any method of storytelling that they used, such as The Rise.
No, that's not a picture I took. That's weird.
Of the
I don't know
Ogre
why I didn't just take a picture
book,
of my copy.
The Escape to Plastic.
And that is something that I desperately want. Like, you have no idea how badly, like, I've been on the hunt for this right here. Because that tells everything leading up to Phase 3. And I truly think that would be, like, amazing to have.
Beach booklet,
so expensive
Murdoch's
or so
radio
rare.
shows, Instagram posts.
Oh, if you haven't listened to Murdoch's radio shows, the pirate radio, I highly recommend it. Extremely funny. He's, like, mostly, like, drunk the entire time.
Stewart podcasts. Here is the comprehensive Gorillaz story.
God, it's so low quality. I didn't notice how low quality.
Oh, and also be sure to like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this series. Thank you.
Hey, like and subscribe.
Hello,
Like and subscribe.
I'm the singer, and I play the pianos, and I need the toilet. Hello, Mum.
On June 6th, 1966, a woman gave birth to one Murdoch Alphonse Nichols at a halfway.
Hey, did you see where the Gorillaz they put Murdoch's like his middle name is like wrong? They made it wrong. I don't remember what it was, but it was for the House of Kong thing. Like they like I think they put Murdoch M Nichols. Like, what does that stand for?
House for the sick. He was soon abandoned in a crib at his father, Sebastian Nichols' doorsteps. Murdoch was found after a long night of drinking at the pub, with a crow perched on his crib. Murdoch's father was mean to the young boy, forcing him to do performances at the pub even though he didn't want to, fearing his wrath. He was forced onto these Are You a Star shows to make tiny amounts of money. If he didn't...
Yeah, the Murdoch's football outfit in Rock the House he wore to Tootie's aunt's funeral. Yeah. See, like, it's the stuff like that that I think is, like, would be really, really funny. Like, if I made like a video on, like, just weird little lore tidbits. But, like, or it's just, like, unnecessary to, like, the overall lore.
His father would abuse the young boy. Because of this, Murdoch vowed to never get on stage under someone else's direction. During school, none of the teachers or other students liked him. A former student named Tony Chopper was a bully that Murdoch had.
I'm trying to fix my camera. I think it looks weird. And Tony Chopper. Tony Chopper. Before I made this video, I did not know that Tony Chopper is a character from One Piece. Now I do. I know what he looks like. I know a little bit about his personality. I wish I would have known whenever I made this so that I could like replace it with an image of Tony Chopper from One Piece, but at the same time, like I feel like people would see it as a joke, like, oh, he's just making this up. When no, look in Rise of the Ogre. The dude's name is Tony Chopper.
Calling him names like Nerdoc. One day, Murdoch stood up to his bully, calling him a useless, bloated, backward waste of space who would probably end up getting a job holding up a for sale sign on corners of streets, only to then himself get fired and replaced by a bucket of soil. This caused Tony to punch Murdoch, breaking his nose for the first time. Murdoch got a lot of his music taste from his brother, Hannibal, which consisted of dub and punk. But Murdoch's first true love was black metal, which Hannibal did not like at all. One altercation caused Hannibal to break Murdoch's nose a second time. It was around this time that Murdoch also got a do-it-yourself Satanist kit, which you will soon see will quickly define his life. Even though he studied other cultures in college, Murdoch decided to become not only a musician, but the front of the biggest band in the world. To do this, he made a deal with the big man down below. Murdoch sold his soul and changed his middle name from Alphonse to Faust. And in return, he got the devil's bass, El Diablo. At first, he went from small job to small job, like gravedigger to Christmas Santa. But eventually, he made his own band called Patchouli Clark, or however you pronounce that. And then after that failed, Kiss and Make Up, then Bullworker, the Stupid Name Gang, etc., etc.
I think there was some more that I left out.
One thing stayed consistent to all the bands and why they failed. That was Murdoch's crow-screeching vocals. If he wanted to have the biggest band in the world, he was going to need a singer. Stuart Harold Pott, or Stu Pott, was born on May 23, 1978, and from a young age, music and films were a huge part of the young boy's life. When Stu was 11, he fell out of a tree, landing on his head and knocking out all of his hair. When it grew back, the color was a vibrant blue. This is where Stu's eventual addiction to painkillers began, for his mother was a nurse and had an unlimited supply.
Sorry,
however, music isn't what Stu wanted to be in life, for at one point he wanted to be a storm chaser and then a painter. But this was all about to change because Murdoch had other plans. D-Day, August 15th, 1997.
Yes, that is what they called it in
It's
Rise
just
of the
another
Ogre.
day for Stuart. He's at his job at Uncle Norm's Organ Emporium when Murdoch decides to act on a heist. He's going to drive straight through the front window, steal as much as he can, and drive away. However, in this robbery, Murdoch drove straight into Stuart's head, fracturing his left eye and leaving him in a catatonic state.
Animated.
Murdoch was arrested.
If the Gorillaz weren't animated, like, would I still like him as much? I think I would. I will admit that the characters are a huge appeal. Like, I love 2D. 2D is my favorite like fictional character of all time, hands down. But I would still love them even like even if they weren't animated. If they made the same exact music but were like real people. Although I do think that a lot of the charm would be gone.
And was sentenced to.
And then cherries. I'm glad. See, that's why I'm glad that this video is like helping people just now getting into Gorillaz who might be confused, you know, because like you see all these things. It's like it took me a long time to completely like piece together everything. So like I said, I've been a Gorillaz fan for Jesus. Has it? I'm doing math in my head, but I don't think it's right. So you're telling me that it's been 12 years.
30,000 hours of community service, along with 10 hours of taking care of Stewart. But instead of actually taking care of him, Murdoch bullied and abused the comatose boy. Kicking, punching, dunking, nothing affected Stewart. Until one day, they took it too far. Murdoch was at a car park, showing off his 360-degree donuts, trying to impress the ladies, when bam! He hit a curb going 90. This sent Stewart flying through the windshield at 70 miles an hour, skidding his face for half a mile. But then he got up.
You know
His
that
other eye was
2D's
but
eye
he was
thing,
described
like
as a blue-haired, black-eyed god. Murdoch
the black
immediately
eyes,
knew
that's
that
real.
This was his new front.
It's called an 8-ball fracture. Now, for it to be completely black, that is like an extreme case. It's just whenever blood gets into your eyes. So like for it to be black and like dries up, for it to be black, it has to be like severe.
Man, it didn't
Other than that, it just kind of looks like they have a pool of blood in their eye. I think it looks cool.
help that he had 8th grade piano skills and the voice of an angel.
So I think one of my comments mentioned something. So it's like that's since I'm an
Didn't help
American,
that he had 8th grade piano.
they they said something a little different, and like at grade 8. I don't think it was grade 8. I think that it meant like something else. I'd have to like look at the book or find that comment and like I'll get back to you on that.
Piano skills and
I'll
the
forget
voice
about it
of
in
an
the next
angel.
5 seconds.
Murdoch gave him the name 2D for the 2 dents in his head from the accidents, of course. Even though Murdoch constantly beat and abused him, 2D saw Murdoch as a savior. He believes that Murdoch saved him from almost dying that day, instead of being the one who almost killed him.
I love you, Murdoch.
Look, I won't say it again. I saved your life. You owe me your soul, man.
Okay.
Next up, Murdoch needed a drummer. Russell Hobbs was born on June 3rd, 1975, and unlike Murdoch and 2D, who were born in the UK, Russell was born in Brooklyn, New York. When he was younger, his friends were killed in a drive-by shooting, with his friend Dell dying instantly right beside of him. Russell recounts that he saw the Grim Reaper for the first time that day. It was also then that the spirits of his dead friends got sucked into Russell like a vacuum cleaner, turning his eyes a silky white. Russell used to go to a private school in New York, but he was quickly kicked out due to the students getting mauled and Russell growing twice his size and going on rampages.
Seems to be a common occurrence.
After
with him.
these rampages, he would leave his signature mark. Russell Hobbs was here, written in blood. Little did Russell know, he was possessed by a much bigger demon even before his friends were gunned down. Getting kicked out sent Russell into an anxiety-induced coma where he was out for 4 years until Father Marin exorcised the demon out of him.
Father Marin.
That's when he...
Hold on. Who is that? Is that someone? Is that like a reference to something? I thought so. I knew it sounded familiar. He's the guy from The Exorcist. He's the priest.
came around. Russell went back to school.
Yes.
This time to a public school.
2D
And it was here where he learned
desperately
about
need to
hip-hop.
hug, and
Russell
I will
claims that
give it to
hip-hop
him
saved his
and not
life
let go
and his
ever.
soul. He was happy. But this didn't last long, however, for his parents sent him to England for safety. He got a job at Big Rick Black's record shack when Murdoch found him, put a bag over his head, and took him to where the band resides, Kong Studios. Russell says that the music was so good that he decided to stay. Plus, Murdoch had the hip-hop machine, a legendary device that had every beat known to man. Russell added a lot to the band, bringing a love of hip-hop, world music, funk, dub, and more. The only thing that they needed was a guitar player. Luckily, they had one in 2D's girlfriend Paula Cracker. That is, until Russell found Paula in cubicle number 3 of Kong Studios' bathroom with Murdoch. Russell broke Murdoch's nose.
I was about to
for
say,
5
where's the visual? But then
fracturing
that
it
came on.
8.
I was like, oh no.
This caused Paula to get kicked out, meaning the band needed another guitar player. Murdoch put an ad in the NME saying that a global phenomenon seeks a guitarist for world domination. No hippies. The moment the ad was placed, there was a knock at the door. No one was there,
I wonder if that's
except for a 10-foot box. But then out came Noodle, playing a guitar riff that sounded like 200 demons screaming in Arabic. It was beautiful. She ended the riff with a karate kick and sang a single word, Noodle. She had a joyful approach to life and amnesia. This didn't deteriorate the band, however. She fit right in. She gave off a pure love that everyone appreciated. Plus, she made fun of Murdoch a lot, which Russell greatly appreciated. All the band needed was a name. Musically, Murdoch wanted to swing around the jungle with his ass out.
I
So
was
he
going to
thought
make a graphic for
Gorillaz
that.
would-
Just going to let you know that there was an alternate timeline where this got 0 views.
was a perfect name. Murdoch bought a disposable camera, took some pictures, and sent them to record labels along with their first song, Ghost Train, and immediately the phone started ringing. On November 5th, 1998, they played their first concert at the Camden Brown House, and the next day, they were signed to Parlophone by one Mr. Whiffy Smiffy. They threw a party that erupted into a food fight that was so violent it knocked 2D's tonsils out. Mr. Smiffy also introduced the band to some old school backup for guidance, the singer of Blur, Damon Albarn,
Who's that?
who immediately had an altercation with Murdoch about his boots that made Murdoch humiliated. And then on November 31st, 1998, Gorillaz start recording their first album. They're self-titled
Jane Birkin, she makes me feel all funny in the nether regions and the pink bits and yeah.
The recording
Oh, I
of this
always thought
album
that
was
was
very
hilarious.
unusual. Coming from Murdoch's demos, the studio was alive, but something was missing. Damon Albarn recommended working with Dan the Automator to produce the album. Dan was immediately impressed and knew where to take them. Starting with replacing Murdoch's vocals, he improvised with Clint Eastwood with a rap. This summoned Dell out of Russell to deliver a career-defining rap on the track. Dan then decided to take the band to Jamaica to finish the album because of the dub influences and to give the album a much-needed optimism. With the album done, it's time to shoot some promotional videos. They almost had to cancel the Tomorrow Comes Today video because Murdoch fell out of a tree, landing on his back. But they persisted and got director Paulo Skinbasio to direct. But the band was not happy with his performance. Because of this, the band got Jamie Hewlett and Matt Wakeham to direct, and they were blown away. The visual side of Gorillaz would from now on be handled by Jamie Hewlett. Due to the band not fully wanting to commit to the animated front, Matt filmed London's nightlife, while the band was filmed elsewhere and layered over top of the footage. On December 27th, 2000, the Tomorrow Comes Today EP was released, but the band wasn't going to slow down, for Next would be one of the band's most defining songs. Over the next 16 weeks, the band made the video for Clint Eastwood, and this was their breakthrough. Released on March 5th, 2001, it peaked at number 3 on the charts just 6 days later, and it went on to win numerous awards in the UK, Europe, and the USA. Gorillaz released their self-titled album on March 26, 2001, with it entering the charts on April 1st, peaking at number 3. Gorillaz weren't doing so bad themselves in the US either. The first week of the album being released, it sold at least 150,000 copies in the first week, peaking at number 14 on the US charts. After releasing another single, 192000, the band flies to Japan to do some shows. The band was immediately greeted by adoring fans, but there was a melancholic feeling that hit Noodle. She felt like an outsider and began to have disturbing dreams. When going home, Gorillaz collaborator Damon Albarn was disappointed because some people thought that Gorillaz was a side project for him when it was so much more. So to reintroduce themselves to Japan, Gorillaz released the B-Sides album, G-Sides, which worked really well over there. Gorillaz thought they won an award, but didn't.
If you haven't seen that video, this one, where they like
really well
accept
over
an award, I don't remember what award. Actually, I don't think they did. I don't think they won it. I think that they like animated this thinking that they were going to win, but didn't. But I think I love this video. It's one of my favorite like phase 1 clips.
Thought they won an award, but didn't.
Oh well, I just said it right there. They thought that they thought that they won an award, but didn't.
Went on tour in the UK and released another single, Rock the House. They also made some sketches that showed what it was like to be a part of the band in 6 Gorilla Bites. And then there was a news reporter that tried to find the hidden truth behind the animated band. This goes nowhere after meeting up with Damon Albarn and Jamie Hewlett, where they had some...
That's another like interesting watch, is In Search of Darkness.
misleading answers.
Were you trying to make a statement with the creation of the Gorillaz?
What we're trying to do is replace order with chaos.
What does that mean?
It means that I find delivery of misinformation to be as valid as the delivery of information.
That is one of my favorite quotes of all time. Hey, how's it going, Tin Man? How you doing?
Where was the band during all this?
We're just watching the video.
They refused to be in it because they saw it as a waste of time. After this, they went on tour in the US, which included summoning and dealing with a demon boy. And then the tour ended in Mexico. With the shows done, instead of going back to Kong Studios to make some new music, the band moved to LA to look over some potential film scripts. At first it was great. Non-stop partying, mingling with famous people, sneaking into Playboy Mansion, getting kicked out of Playboy Mansion. 3 months go by, and there was no work getting done. They don't even have a director, so they rushed to get one, and the one they chose was terrible. He had a script called Whoops, There Goes My Career, and the script was so off the walls that it was ridiculous. Plus, the only time the band left LA was to play at the Isle of MTV Festival. It was here where Murdoch was handed a release to sign. It was their album, but remixed by a trio called the Space Monkeys. Basically, 2D left Kong Studios unlocked, thinking that they were going to be gone for only 3 weeks, not months. The 3 Cosmic Monkeys waltzed their way into the studio, stole the master tapes for their album, and remixed it. They called it Laika Come Home, and was an attempt to contact the jungle mothership that they were booted from. The band returned to LA to continue making their film, and the script was completely changed. Everyone was extremely upset. So upset that they decided
Can I get an F in chat?
to get a hotel room and write their own film. Everyone but Russell, who was growing impatient with the situation, was excited. This should only take 2 days. 2 days turned into a month, and everyone was getting fed up with each other. 2D kept throwing out ideas that were already made, like Jaws and Elevator Pitch. But it was when 2D suggested Jack Black could play Murdoch that Murdoch snapped. He grabbed 2D by the throat and was strangling the...
I feel like that's like a possibility now. It was a joke back then, but Who knows? Jack Black's in everything now. It'll either be him or Chris Pratt.
Life out of him. Noodle got into the fight, but it was when Russell knocked Murdoch in the head that he fell to the ground like a stringless puppet. That was it. That was the line. Murdoch had been humiliated by his own bandmate. Spouting threats to 2D and talking about how he carried the band, Murdoch left the room. Gorillaz were over.
2D, what's it like being a sex symbol?
Imagine if like the band just ended there and that's like the end of their story.
No, he ain't no sex symbol. He's too busy changing his ringtone.
You're just jealous.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Shut up!
After the fight in LA,
What's up, Gregory?
Murdoch decides to head south to Mexico. There he can enjoy the sun and some warm tequila, and he'll be far away from scripts, screens, and that twerp 2D. He was stopped at the border because he left his passport back in LA, but he gave the border patrol some Rock the House t-shirts and he was on his way. He didn't get to enjoy his vacation long at all though. For Murdoch,
Yes, this is the story of the band. Like this is the oh, another thing too is I think it's funny how many people ask if this is real or not. Like obviously, yeah, this is real. This happened. These people exist. These people exist, and this is really what happened in real life. No, it's just a fictional, like, the backstory behind the band members of the band.
had been caught giving false checks to a brothel. His tab was getting high, so he gave them autographed money with his face on it. This landed Murdoch a 30-year prison sentence at La Mesa State Prison. Murdoch had to make friends fast, so he befriended two crooks that showed him a thing or two about surviving prison. He also met and befriended someone with a chilling reputation, legends saying that they were born on the folds of the Grim Reaper's cloak. This creature is known as Cortez the Raven. Murdoch went from rock legend to prisoner 3.
How's it going, the generic Forbes and friends? How's it going?
18008:999, which if you put that in a calculator and flip it upside down, yeah, that's what kept Murdoch going. Meanwhile, back in LA, Russell stayed at their house. Noodle went back to Japan and 2D disappeared, leaving Russell alone. People would come and go as they pleased, and then their stuff started disappearing.
Poor
Plus,
Russell.
Alfred C. Klinker kept calling every hour, extremely mad about how the film didn't work out. Russell said that he felt his soul leaving his body, like maple syrup gone bad. The only decent people he met during this time was an Australian polar bear and an out-of-work crocodile. Eventually, some hippies came in and took over the place as their own. But it was when wee Jimmy Manson moved in that things took a turn. He had a sinister vibe to him, and with Murdoch gone, he tried to take his place and become the leader. Russell became disorientated and left the house, walking around aimlessly and gaining a lot of weight. But then, he saw the Grim Reaper again. He also saw his friend Dell, lying on the pavement in front of him. He had been hiding from the Grim Reaper for all this time, but he knew he would find him eventually. They share one last hug as the Grim Reaper takes Dell away, and then Russell passes out. When he woke up, Ike Turner was standing over him. He took Russell back to his place, fed him, gave him new clothes, and let him rest. Russell slept for a long time. After the fight the band had in LA, Noodle went on a mission. She traveled to Japan to find out the mystery of her past. Her nightmares that started when the band toured in Japan consisted of army bases and orders, and now she's going to figure all that out. She didn't know where to begin though, so for the first year, Noodle aimlessly wandered the streets, searching for clues. She almost gave up, until one day she was at a steamed fish shop, and she heard the phrase, ocean bacon. Suddenly, everything rushed back to her, like being pulled out of deep water and into the sunlight. She remembered everything. The chef appeared out of the kitchen, and he was surprised and overwhelmed to see Noodle, because that was her mentor and trainer, Army Officer Mr. Cuso. They caught up quickly, and he revealed to Noodle the secrets of her past. Noodle was one of 23 children trained for an elite team for the Japanese government for a secret military compound. From birth, Noodle was put into Mr. Cuso's custody and was raised with strict guidance. She learned every martial art and taught her every language.
Ocean bacon.
It was here that Noodle remembered how to speak English, along with many of her other gifts.
It's probably one of my
They
favorite.
also gave every student their own
memes from
specialized
this.
gift. So Noodle was taught how to be a musician, specializing in guitar.
And then what's
Noodle on the
awesome
other-
is whenever I uploaded this as a short, and before you could like set the thumbnail on the phone, it automatically set it as ocean bacon. So that was that's funny. I can only imagine like scrolling through it and you see Noodle's backstory. Oh, cool, ocean bacon.
Their children were used as attack weapons, and the damage that they caused to Tokyo was catastrophic. There was a password to wipe their minds if they got caught by the enemy, and there was a password to activate them as well, with Noodles being ocean bacon. The Japanese government, however, deemed the project too dangerous and ordered Mr. Kuzo to shut down the project immediately, along with destroying any evidence, including the children. He saw the potential in Noodle to become a famous guitarist, so he wiped her memories except for her guitar skills and smuggled her to England when he saw Murdoch's ad. With all this information, Noodle knew what she must do. She returned to Kong Studios to complete her unfinished business. 2D, on the other hand, was having a brilliant time. He hung around Brian Setzer and became a member of the Viper Room Club, which is where all the celebrities hang out. He also met Brett Eklund through Brian, who he immediately fancied with the copy of The Wickerman that Murdoch lent him. Noodle was gone and Russell was acting weird, so he called Eklund and she said to come on over. He stayed at her place for about a month or two, but left because of how strange everything got. She was always naked, banging on walls.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw that like one day I was watching this, and it was really, really early in the morning. Like I think it was like 4 or 5, and I completely forgot that I put that image behind her. If you don't see it, then like there is an image behind this. It's not just completely black, and I completely forgot about it, and it freaked me out.
All night, and there was a dude who played a wooden flute in another room. But it was when they started building a giant wicker statue that 2D had enough and decided to go to his dad's place in England. His dad now ran the fun fair down in Eastbourne, and 2D got a job collecting money on the switchback ride. This gave 2D a new sense of job satisfaction that he had never felt before. These were the happiest days of 2D's life.
Poor 2D.
2D also became good friends with Shane Lynch, a
I wish
former
that he would have just stayed there. Just stayed there and been happy. Worked the fairground.
member of the boy band X-Boyzone. The pair were inseparable, with 2D even getting into Shane's hobby of monster trucks. There was no more Murdoch to bully him, so 2D got his ego back. Plus, he realized that it was him that made Gorillaz successful in the first place. 2D had a new, more positive view on life. He was set. 1.5 years since any Gorillaz member was at Kong, Noodle arrived on October 27, 2003. The studio had been overrun by blood, guts, and zombies. There was a disease that broke out, radiating from the TV room. She found that the infection was coming from the airwaves broadcasted to the TV, with an endless stream of useless info, made-up history, soul-sapping celebrities, and time-rotting garbage. It took Noodle 6 months to make the area habitable again, but the broadcasts were still occurring. Noodle needed a way to bring light into the world, balancing the darkness. Thus, she started developing the album that would soon be known as Demon Days. Meanwhile, in Mr. Turner's basement, Russell is starting to come back to his senses. He had an urge to make music again, so Mr. Turner and him started work on what was described as a hip-hop Sgt. Pepper's, named the Seventh Heaven Hip Hop and Harmony album. It was supposed to be a good, warm album to bring people together, but it became something else, something evil. The songs ended up with the life of their own, trying to lure you in and steal your soul. Russell had to bury the album, and to get away from everything, he returned to Kong Studios. Murdoch spent his time well in prison, catching up with literature, writing lyrics. He even passed the medical exam.
What was that
Spent
say?
his time well in prison, catching up with literature, writing lyrics.
It's unexcusable. I am so sorry.
Even passed the medical exam that legally entitles him to experiment on monkeys. But Murdoch wanted out. He wanted to make a new album, get in advance, and get away from the garbage prison food. So he made a papier-mâché version of himself and put a tape of him moaning on repeat so the guards would think that he was having a bad.
Now, I never planned on adding that audio, but could you imagine? Could you imagine?
Morning. As soon as he got out, He just kept doing the same thing that got him arrested. He didn't change a bit. Except this time when the police came to arrest him, he left a note saying, "See you later, suckers." Murdoch got on a plane to England and was making his way back to Kong. 2D was starting to get nostalgic for the band. Gorillaz isn't something that you just walk away from. So when Noodle texted 2D, telling him about the demos and asking if he minded singing on them, 2D made his way to Kong, with confidence fully restored. The rest of the band arrived at Kong Studios on March 3rd, 2004. Noodle explained to them the state
So
of the
remember
at
how I
Kong
was
Studios.
telling you guys about how like the 2D's black eye thing is real? Well, in some phase 2 promotional art, or like just art in general, they tried to make it look more realistic, so you can see like it's like actually it's not fully black, it's red, and you can see his pupil. Like that's not exactly what it looks like in real life, but it's closer to just pure black.
It was on March 3rd.
Where people think that they're holes. I don't know. Like whenever I first got into Gorillaz, I didn't think they were holes. I thought they were just black eyes. But a lot of people think that they're holes. I don't get it.
2004. Noodle explained to them the state of
Maybe
the world
that's why
and the
his eyes are
importance of this
primarily
album
white
that she
now,
had laid out.
other than his
And
happier.
thusly, the band got straight to work recording their next
Or
album.
whatever, his happier mood.
Even though they left in a rough state, the band was happy to be back together creating music with.
Now there's no explaining that. I don't know. Like I know why they gave him white eyes, like normal eyes here. It's because otherwise he would just be looking straight down. It's like hard to tell. But you could have done it. You could have done it like the picture previous. Like it literally looks like he has eyes here. Just same with the Demon Days cover. Like he's got. Oh, well, it's blurred. But just trust me.
The band was happy to be back together creating music with one another. Everyone absolutely loved Noodle's demos she created. She decided immediately that they needed a producer to give these songs life. And Dan was out. He was freaked out by the spirits left at Kong and dropped the project. Plus he wanted to kick Murdoch's ass. Impressed by the Grey album, Noodle wanted Danger Mouse to produce the new album. He was difficult to get a hold of, but after a long and persistent process of blackmail, midnight calls, and sincere pledges of artistic intent, Danger Mouse joined the project. Once he was at Kong, him and Noodle talked endlessly about the album and its direction, while Murdoch made everything unbearable by groaning or quacking while he was listening to the recordings. They just
I had to throw in the duck quacks.
decided to have the album be a journey through the night.
Oh, or there it is. There's the eye.
With each song being a different demon that humanity faces.
See, that's why I love Demon Days so much. I probably was talking over that.
Journey through the night, groaning or quacking while he was listening to the recording.
How can you not? It's quacking. He's quacking. It's funny.
They decided to have the album be a journey through the night, with each song being a different demon that humanity faces.
That's why I like it so much. I think it's a beautiful concept album.
They also decided to have a cast of collaborators.
Okay. If you know this, good for you. That sounded rude. I'm sorry. If you know this, I'm glad that someone else here has noticed. I'm sorry. But if you haven't, let me show you something. I noticed this whenever I first got the Demon Days Live DVD, and it freaked me out. And now every time I see this picture, I can't help my eyes immediately go to this dude right here with the edited face. It's like, why did they have to do that to him? It's creepy. Now that right there, like people find 2D creepy, that I find creepy because like why did they do that? Everyone else here looks normal, right? But why is he? Who is this guy? Why did they do this to him? What did he do to deserve this?
To represent different cultures.
Yeah. This reminds me of a YouTuber that talks about a movie, but because of copyright, he has to edit it. Yeah, no, that's 100% what this is. Not because of the lack of copyright, but because lack of anything. Like they just there's no way to like visualize all this. Could you imagine like the Murdoch like, what should I name my band? And then like, never mind.
Damon Albarn, smelling another great record,
I also love this picture of Damon. I think he looks silly.
came along to give a helping hand, supplying Noodle with an endless supply of soundtracks and musical references. He also gave 2D vocal lessons, and now 2D sounds like he's trying to do an impression of Albarn's voice.
And that's why so Damon put on a voice for 2D in the first album. That's why it's like weird, like that's why it's like higher pitched and more experimental. But then just to combat this, he was like, Damon Albarn gave him vocal lessons. That's why he's not putting on a voice for Demon Days. Because could you imagine Demon Days with but he's singing like how he did on Gorillaz? It definitely would not have had the impact that it did.
Getting collaborators to come to Kong proved difficult.
But at the same time, he tried to like circumvent this by so it's not exactly, so it's not exactly it's not exactly Damon. So that's why they put the filter on that, and also it adds to the atmosphere and texture and other words that Anthony Fantano would use.
And even get a pizza delivered there. But they persisted, and their attributions to the album were impeccable.
That might be Jamie, actually. I thought it was awful. Subscribe to Self-Titled. No. That was no. Okay, so the first one, I wasn't cringing. That might be Jamie. We're going to forget that I ever made such an abomination of a sound.
Frantic days and sleepless nights, Gorillaz went to Pierce Room's studio in West London for overdubs and final mixing. Then the album was...
Hey, how's it going, Illogical Jason? Thank you so much. How are you doing, man? Uh-oh, Gregory recognized you. Gregory's, you better watch out. This one will drink all the gas out of your car.
Was mastered in New York, and finally, Demon Days was complete. After recording the evidence of zombification in Kong, Noodle released this footage under the guise of a Gorillaz video entitled
What's
Rocket.
up, Gregory?
This was the first song Noodle asked 2D to sing after his return. It's a commentary on how music doesn't have meaning anymore. It's just a bunch of blah, 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 blah.
I'll have to wait until after the video. Sorry, bud.
So, Noodle wanted to find other like-minded individuals with genuine talent.
I was thinking of this earlier for some reason. I don't remember why. The whole, search for a star thing.
So she set up Search for a Star to assemble a creative army. What was the prize?
To become a Gorillaz collaborator.
I tell you what, mate. If all the world's a state,
I'll tell you what, mate. I'll tell you.
I'd get off it if I were you.
And after over 4,000 submissions, they found 3 winners: an animator, a graphic artist, and a musician. These would be showcased on the 4th single from Demon Days. Finally, Noodle created the Reject False Icons campaign. Printable from their website or available at select record shops, were stickers designed to be placed on posters with mindless celebrities, encouraging viewers to think for themselves. With all this out of the way, it's time for the band to make their first public appearance since the Isle of MTV Festival in 2002 with a new, proper music video. Noodle got in contact with Jamie Hewlett for the first time in 3 years to begin the storyboard process for a little song called Feel Good Inc. Work began on the video and almost everything went smoothly. There was an incident involving Murdoch getting pulled over for having drugs, and said drugs paralyzing him from the waist down. Plus, De La Soul kept inhaling nitrous oxide on the plane ride over, so they didn't take anything seriously at all, kept giggling their heads off, and kept picking on 2D. They even bought a tiny island, gutted the insides, and put helium in it so that it would float, giving Noodle the island she's on during the video. The song and video were a smash hit. Releasing on May 9, 2005, it immediately went to number 2 on the UK charts, staying there for 5 months. In the US, the song wasn't performing as good. That is, until the iPod featured the song in an advertisement, blowing the song up. It stayed at number 1 on the rock radio for 9 weeks and sold over 2.5.
Yeah, I know that this is mentioned all over the place, but isn't it a little ironic that a song that's so heavily against corporations, I can't think of the word, but either way, they put it in an iTunes commercial almost immediately. It blew up. I mean, I'm glad that they did. It skyrocketed it, but ironic.
Million singles. Gorillaz had a lot to prove with this next album. They had to prove they're not a one-trick pony, that they're not a gimmick, that there's something more. And on May 23rd, 2005, Demon Days was released to the public to critical acclaim, peaking at number 1.
Fun fact about this video. I worked on this video while I was at the beach. Yeah, I brought my laptop. I recorded my voiceover literally the night before. And so I brought my laptop with me and I worked on it at the beach. Didn't finish it, obviously, but it was a good distraction from the really, really bad sunburn I had.
On the charts and staying in the top 10 for 22 weeks. They had to follow this up with another single, and so they did with the song Dare. After this, the band put together a virtual radio tour across the US called the Demon D Tour. The plan is to go to a studio to rehearse, then go across America to different radio stations and perform live there instead of booking concert venues and dealing with screens. Starting from when they got to the studio, the band started receiving odd phone calls consisting of disturbing messages and even death threats. The band ignored them, but things got weirder when, at their first performance in Seattle, their A&R man for the tour was revealed to be none other than Wee Jimmy Manson. Turns out, he auditioned for Noodle's Search for a Star, but Murdoch laughed at him or walked away anytime he played something, which greatly annoyed Manson. He looked up to Murdoch, and he humiliated him, and now he's managing this tour. The schedule was relentless, but Murdoch passed the time by becoming friends with Manson, and Russell got into taxidermy. Even though the buses were meant to be indistinguishable from others to keep the band private, that didn't stop them from getting shot at.
Thank you, Gregory. Nice talking.
They were tailed by a mysterious car,
punch
shooting
back.
anytime they looked out to see who it was. Russell believed it was the demon boy they summoned last time they were in America, but no one believed him. Everyone had a few guesses. A woman that Murdoch swears he didn't knock up a few years ago. Paula Cracker, who had a grudge against Noodle for taking her spot in a newly successful band. Murdoch's dad, whose name appeared in the papers recently calling him a neglected father by an ungrateful son. Plus previous directors Paulo Scimpasio, or however you say that, and Alfred C. Klinkler.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so this is what they
Paulo
look like
Scimpasio,
in
or however you say that,
in The
and
Rise
Alfred
of the
C.
Ogre. So yeah, the one on the right had a huge glow up.
Klinkler. During the tour, their bus was broken into, and they left Scorpions. Plus, mystery fires broke out while they were playing. Someone was trying to get them. There were even shots fired outside the station they were playing at, and someone named Grassy Knoll was arrested. However, the band wondered if
Grassy Knoll, I believe I don't want to tell you wrong. Yeah, the Grassy Knoll is where the attack on JFK was took place. I remember because I was trying to see if he was like a real person, so I looked up Grassy Knoll and I got that. And oh, okay. Gorillaz and their references, I swear. That, and also it's the name of where they hang out in Clone High. All my Clone High friends out there.
this guy was just a decoy to throw off the American government. Murdoch got frightened by the assassination attempts, so he went to Jimmy Manson to tell him to make it stop, which it immediately did. For the rest of the tour, they had to travel at 200 miles an hour to make sure they made it to the radio station on time, but they persevered and finished the tour. Although, on the plane ride back, Russell noticed 2 helicopters following them. Once they got back to England, they began filming the video for their next single, Dirty Harry. But as soon as they returned home,
JFK? Dad? I played Call of Duty with him the other day. my god. Oh, that's awesome. Gregory, you win. You win. Gregory, you win. If there's a way for me to pin comments in the top chat, that's getting it. Oh my god. JFK dead. I played. That's going in quotes. I'm quoting that. I'm stealing that. I'm sorry, Gregory. That's too good.
They began work on their performance that was going to be unveiled at the MTV European Awards. However, they were contacted by the Manchester International Festival to perform at their show on the same exact day. They didn't want to pass this up, so they commissioned top-tier musicians to perform in their place, including Damon Albarn. This eventually became Demon Days Live and was a huge success. After the show, De La Soul immediately hopped on a plane and headed to Europe to perform at the show the band was focused on, the EMAs. No more hiding behind screens, no more being on screen. The band was on stage performing Feel
They
Good
need
Inc.
to do
in front
this
of a
again. I understand that it was kind of a disaster. I don't think it went too well, especially if you were there in person. But we're 20 years later, man. You can figure it out, dude.
live audience, and it was.
If they ever release another song that's as big as Feel Good Inc. or Clint Eastwood, that is 100% what they're going to do.
Massive. Manchester and the EMAs were all the papers were about for days, especially since they were pulled off at the same time, which made this an even greater achievement. Because of this, MTV wanted to do an episode of MTV Cribs on the band, and which they did. And to round off the year, on December 25th, 2005, Murdoch gave the Queen's speech. Not even kidding.
I've actually been asked to do the Queen's speech. You know, she's busy. And we've had more films from Harry Potter. So, you know, basically, it really does look like we've just gone one step closer to the apocalypse, eh?
They then proceeded to start 2006 with a bang. The Grammys wanted Gorillaz to perform, along with Madonna. They went to a pre-Grammys party at Dennis Hopper's house, and on February 8th...
I still to this day do not... I don't know what this means. I don't know what this is. I tried to pin your comment, buddy. Didn't work.
Pre-Grammys party at Dennis...
You'll probably have to type it in the comments. I'll pin it then, I promise.
Hopper's house, and on February 8th, 2006, Gorillaz...
Oh my god! I'm so sorry, Gregory. It was the really, really fast what? Nobody snipe Gregory. Please. Nobody snipe Gregory. Sure, I think that my car would run a little better, but no one needs to be sniping anyone. It was the immediate what? Oh my god. What?
Gorillaz, De La Soul, and Madonna opened
There's something wrong with you
for the
guys.
48th Grammy Awards.
You're watching
They
my
performed at
content.
the
That
Brit
must mean that
Awards
there's
and
like
announced
something wrong
the
with me.
Demon Days
No, Gregory, it's not fine. It's not fine. You're not getting sniped. Not under my watch.
Live in Apollo, New York.
Oh my
However,
God.
in Manchester, everything was paid for, but not in the U.S.
That is
So
crazy.
Murdoch had to make a Motorola advertisement to pay for it.
Everyone be quiet during Motorola time. Everyone shush. Be quiet. Calm down. It's Motorola time.
Ooh, Motorola. Can't talk right now. I'm naked.
Oh, sorry. Did I have it paused on a very inconvenient frame? I apologize. It will not happen again.
Motorola. I can't talk now. I'm naked.
Everything seemed to be looking up, but in light of some recent news, they realized that they had one last music video that they needed to make. The friends that Murdoch made in jail got in contact with him again and informed him of who was trying to assassinate them on the Demon Detour. It was none other than wee Jimmy Manson himself. What made things even worse was now he's climbed to the head of the record label. He was planning on killing off Gorillaz, one by one, getting his revenge for embarrassing him. They've hit their peak with Demon Days, so why not take them out now? Murdoch wasn't going to stand for this and had a plan to take out Manson. He told him that they needed to film one last video, and this shoot would go horribly wrong, killing off the other members of the band, leaving Murdoch and Manson. Murdoch would then start off his solo career, and Manson could be a part of the band. This
Could you
caused
imagine a Murdoch solo career? Like just him screeching on vocals? Imagine if he did covers. Like imagine if Murdoch covered Good Luck Babe. That'd be freaking awesome.
foam out the mouth like a rabid dog and agreed. Noodle talked to Jamie Hewlett about what this next video could be, but he revealed that he had already spoken to Murdoch about it in great detail. He wanted to reuse the floating island from the Feel Good Inc. video, but the helicopters shoot it down, with Noodle inside. Everyone dismissed it, saying it was too dangerous, but Murdoch reassured them that it was dark like the tone of the album, plus Noodle can parachute off before the crash. The rest of the band were unsure, especially since Murdoch was so motivated about it. The only reason they continued was because Jamie was behind it, and he always delivered. As the shoot began, it was hard to tell if Noodle was acting or if she was genuinely scared. Real bullets were shot, and the island began to light up in flames. And according to plan, the island went down. And to seal the deal, a bomb was dropped on the wreckage. What the band didn't know was Murdoch told Manson what he was supposed to do. Hide in the back room until the helicopters start shooting, then grab the guns and shoot Noodle. The noise from the choppers would cover it, and everyone would think it was them who killed her. But when the time came, Manson realized that there were no guns, and that he was locked inside. He went down with the island and was never seen again. But everyone had one question. Where was Noodle? She did jump off the island at the last minute, and the recovery team did find a half-burnt parachute near the wreckage. But no.
Okay, that'll be enough for the JFK. That's enough with JFK.
No Noodle.
Don't make me get the Roblox guy to come arrest you.
Russell and 2D were frantic, while Murdoch calmly asked Jamie, "Did you get that?"
Should have put a reverb on that.
7 months pass. The only update from Gorillaz is D-Sides, a B-Sides album for Demon Days. The band is silent until a broadcast is heard from the basement of Kong Studios. It's from a damaged radio set. It sounds like crackling feedback, but a recognizable voice is faintly heard. It's Noodle. In a panic, she's trying to get in contact with the band. Someone is coming, and they know where Murdoch is. She's trying to warn them, but to no avail. Mayday! Mayday! Murdoch! Coming Gorillaz! It's heard before the broadcast shuts off.
So, why do
Hold on, so so for all the people who have seen this, let me show you.
Mayday! Murdoch! Coming Gorillaz! It's heard before the broadcast shuts off.
So, why
Hold on, so so for all the people who have seen this. Okay, all right. I was going to do a funny, but I don't want to. You may not know that in the original video, here are some fun little facts.
Murdoch is. She's trying to warn them, but to no avail. Mayday! Mayday! Murdoch! Coming Gorillaz! It's heard before the broadcast shuts off.
So I wanted to. Oh, you can't see it. I wanted to incorporate this into the full version, like the complete collection. No, but I couldn't. But I remember I wanted to talk about this. This is what I meant to say. I wanted to talk about this somewhere in the video, but I couldn't figure out a good place to put it, especially since, like, you know, when does Murdoch stealing 2D's organs come into effect? No, no. So, yeah, and then I think there's one more. Respect false icons. That's not it. Oh, and then here it is. Here's here's the thing that I was talking about earlier with Murdoch is dead, or Murdoch is God. I mean, so I think that's it. And then yeah, it's just dramatic way to end it. Woo!
We'll get comfy and I strap myself in and tie myself off. It would sound something like this.
God. If Murdoch wasn't such a huge douchebag to 2D, I would love him.
Noodle was nowhere to be found, presumed dead. Russell and 2D, horrified at the experience, went their separate ways, getting as far away from Murdoch as possible. There was a long period of time where none of the band members interacted with each other. Over the next 3 years, Noodle...
I wonder if that's a reference to something.
Noodle was MIA, Russell went back to Brooklyn, and 2D went to Oxford to get a law degree. Murdoch, on the other hand, he went on a bender around the world. Eventually, his money started to run low, so he started selling broken weapons to underground networks. He would buy older guns, repaint them, and sell them for profit. All was good until Murdoch sold some weapons to a group of pirates named the Black Clouds. They've been pursuing Murdoch, wanting payback after he sold them duds. Murdoch had to get out of Dodge, and quick. So, he burned down Kong Studios, blaming it on some kids so he could get insurance money. Using this, he searched the world for a location off the grid, somewhere Google couldn't even find. It was here he found an unnatural disaster zone, a fantastical island built entirely of garbage, smack in the middle of nowhere. Broken bottles, old tires...
Like I said, I had to flip and change colors to appease YouTube gods because my original video got demonetized because it used this footage. Woo.
All sorts of dumped and damaged goods held together by the thick, sticky goop of tar and oil. The most desolate location known to man, Point Nemo. The furthest point from any landmass on the planet.
They give you the actual coordinates, so that's, like, actually where it is.
Murdoch thought this was perfect, so he built a brand new headquarters and painted the landmass.
He bought a brand new headquarters?
Murdoch thought this was perfect, so he built a brand new headquarters.
He built a brand new headquarters. I don't think that's right.
And painted...
Too late now. 1 million people have heard it.
The landmass a bright pink. It was here where he constructed the album that was to be named after the island. What was the name that Murdoch came up with?
I don't know, what was it?
Welcome to... On his final move to the...
Gregory, where it's like got like a little delay. Oh, I don't know what you mean by... What do you mean stole? I don't know. So do you live on Plastic Beach? I hate to break it to you, buddy, but the Plastic Beach doesn't end very well, the location, and I don't think you would want to live on it.
The island. Assassins sent by the Black Clouds made a move on Murdoch. They took a shot at him and missed, hitting the champagne bottle, shattering it to pieces. They were onto him. So Murdoch needed a bodyguard, but with Noodle gone, he also needed a guitarist. So he decided to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Using some DNA he grabbed from the El Manana crash site, Murdoch constructed a cyborg replica of Noodle. For drums, he had a cheap dinky drum machine that could replace Russell, but one thing that he couldn't replace was the angelic vocals of 2D. And he was unwilling to perform with Gorillaz again. So how was Murdoch going to get him to Plastic Beach? Well, 2D failed at getting his law degree, so he's currently on retreat in Beirut. And Murdoch, well, he had his work cut out for him, for a mysterious figure gasses 2D, causing him to pass out and wake up in a suitcase on Plastic Beach. Hey, just a quick side.
Okay, so, a lot of people say like I got a lot of comments on this saying that what is it? That, the mysterious figure looks like the boogeyman. Yeah. I didn't want to give it away that it was like the boogeyman immediately. So I just thought that was funny. And also this theory time, fun fact, I still want to make this video, but I want to, like, especially whenever I was like finishing up these videos, I wanted to make a video with 3 theories, like basically make a Gorillaz game theory video. And I was going to elaborate more on this. Since this,
for one,
It is scary.
this random person animator.
basically, if you don't know, what I'm suggesting here, this theory is that Murdoch, like they retcon this. It's no longer Boogeyman, and Murdoch was the one who captured 2D, and I still think that's the intention to this day.
Video, along with this little lore booklet
Because like
that Gorillaz released.
I did a lot of research to figure out if they ever confirmed it, but they didn't.
Be the worst experience
I think
of
this was
2D's life.
I think this was the longest that it took me to make a video, was because I talk about how Phase 6's lore sucks, and it does, but it's basically just, one Saturday they're out driving their car. The next Saturday they are flying to the moon in a bus. It's weird stuff. Just kind of goes all around the place. But for Phase 3, especially since this was YouTube has only been out for, 4 years at that point. The internet isn't what it is today. And so, a lot of, it's just, they spread out the information as far as they could. And, they didn't make it easy. They have released a few books that kind of condenses it. But it was difficult piecing this one together.
He was held captive and constantly abused by Murdoch and Cyborg Noodle.
Oh yeah, I hate this part.
Forcing him to sing on the album. He was locked in the lowest level of headquarters, underwater in a sort of aquarium where he was kept watch over his biggest fear, a whale.
I only really joined the band to make music, and now I'm being held captive by a bastard bass player in an underwater submarine. It's making me want to die!
And I guess it helps that he's always looked up to me as a kind of father figure.
In your dreams, Pedro. Sod off your guff.
Right! That's it!
The only time that they brought him up was to sing on the album. He missed Noodle and Russell, plus he was forced to quit painkillers, so he fell into a deep depression. Another thing that Murdoch needed was some collaborators.
I'm trying to remember if anywhere in this video do I explain 2D's eyes and why they change colors when they do. I don't know.
So he
that might have to be another video.
chloroformed some new and returning talent and had them shipped to Plastic Beach. When the poison wore off, Murdoch stuck them in the recording booth and forced them to sing or play.
Have any Metallica fans in chat? You want to talk about Lulu? Underrated work. Oh wait, I just realized that I
wore off. Murdoch stuck them in the recording booth and forced.
I just realized that you probably can't see it. I wonder what Metallica's up to. If you know, you know.
Them to sing or play.
In the most inconvenient spot.
In January of 2010, Murdoch, drowning in rum, hijacked the airways of NME's radio station to host his own pirate show, live from the lighthouse on Plastic Beach. Here, Murdoch sounds isolated, unhinged, and insane.
Sitting in a
You're
black
listening
void.
to me, Murdoch Nichols.
I know, I'm showing
this
off
is my very
Internet
own
Explorer
radio
9.
show. Murdoch's got his own show. Murdoch's got his own show. La 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 la. I must have some rum. Oh, yeah.
There were 5 total episodes for him to tell his story, play some tunes, and debut some new Gorillaz music. And speaking of new Gorillaz music, on January 26, 2010, Gorillaz released their first new single in 5 years, Stylo.
I will forever resent this music video. if I were to put my finger on my least favorite Gorillaz video, it's Stylo. It's not because of the models. It's not. It didn't mess up the lore in any way. Well, it kind of did. I'll leave a note. It's another theory of mine. But they went so over budget for this video that they had to cancel the Rhinestone Eyes video. And granted, there is an amazing fan recreation for it. But, I still would have loved to see the actual thing.
While driving through the American desert, Murdoch, 2D, and Cyborg Noodle were attacked by a bounty hunter. They look rough, 2D being bruised up and Cyborg Noodle being shot in the head, causing her to malfunction. After an intense chase, they narrowly escape, crashing their car into the ocean where it turned into a submarine. Murdoch's personal documentary crew filmed the entire...
So yeah, that's the thing, is like Murdoch's documentary crew. I think my theory is that all this is staged to show how he got to Plastic Beach. Like that. Oh no, I didn't gas 2D and kidnap him and bring him over. No, instead we were in this epic car chase with Bruce Willis, and he was like a bounty hunter, and he was trying to get me down, but he couldn't because I'm better than Bruce Willis. So his documentary crew just so happened to be there while he was like driving away from Bruce Willis. Nah.
Assault.
But it's possible he didn't tell 2D because poor 2D, he's so scared. He says, "It's Bruce."
Footage was used to accompany the single. The crew also got footage of an entity named the Boogeyman, a demonic figure that is the living embodiment of all the world's evil. Murdoch bargained with it before, and now it's on a mission to claim his soul. Around this time, mysterious footage began to articulate online. It was none other than Russell, throwing himself into the ocean in a rage. He left a note, leading many people to believe that he was ending his life. Little did they know.
I think I said something weird there. I don't think I said that right. I don't want to go back and listen to it.
His way of Plastic Beach.
1 million people have seen this. Can you believe that? 1 million people. 1 million people like you yourself. You lovely, lovely people. Thank you. Like and subscribe. Never quit the grind.
Time later, a boat in the middle of the ocean comes under fire by pirate jets. An employee races through the ship to evacuate everyone when he runs into this woman. She calmly gets her suitcase, grabs a machine gun, and goes out to shoot down the pirates. This is revealed to be Noodle, now in hiding and supporting a cat mask. She shoots down one jet, but another one blows up the ship that she's on, forcing her to retreat to a nearby lifeboat. After floating around for some time, she is surprised to find that Russell not only found her, but is gigantic. You see, he's been swimming his way to Plastic Beach, and all the pollution from the ocean made him huge. Together,
it's a lyric from Welcome to the World of Plastic Beach. All the pollution from... I don't think it's exactly that, though.
They plan to reunite with the rest of the band. Meanwhile, Murdoch, Cyborg Noodle, and 2D are making their way back to Plastic Beach, along with the collaborators. They have a run-in with the Boogeyman, in which Cyborg Noodle attacks with shotgun fire. However, the Boogeyman escapes, with the fog falling back to reveal Plastic Beach. The album would be released on March 10th, 2010, and while it didn't have the best reception when it first released, it would eventually become a fan favorite. It's a very theatrical and electronic-heavy album with a strong
focus. I hope that I'm at least making it interesting.
On environmentalism. Like Demon Days, the songs have withstood the test of time, being more prevalent now than ever. With this new album under their belt, it was time for Gorillaz to go on a world tour. But, with the band in shambles, Murdoch had to improvise. He got Damon Albarn to put together the best musicians in the world to go and perform live, to then be joined by the real Gorillaz if they were to ever get back together. Gorillaz were set to headline Coachella in 2010, making their first live show since Demon Days live in Apollo, New York. Too bad Murdoch had a missing...
First someone destroys my car, and then you come in and rob my house. And then we're also terrified that freaking Gregory is going to get sniped.
work visa and was deported back to Plastic Beach. Even though no original member of Gorillaz made it that night, the audience still went wild. Was Murdoch now a side act in his own band? The band continued to tour in the UK without Murdoch, but he assured his audience that he would be back. While Murdoch was getting deported, he stupidly misplaced his passport, and there was no chance of him getting it back soon. So the live band continued on.
It do be like that
The Camden
sometimes.
Roundhouse show in particular was hard for Murdoch because it was given many 5-star reviews, with Damon Albarn and crew being commended for their performance, talents, abilities, visions, and collective collaborative outlook. Murdoch commissioned them to perform his songs, and they decide to cut their captain? To make things worse, footage of the live band was spliced with Murdoch, 2D, and Cyborg Noodle being denied entry was used to advertise future concerts. Murdoch has never been so humiliated. When he was broadcasting live on XFM, Murdoch announced that he had plans to kill off the band, and only a cartoon can get away with it.
You know, Gorillaz ain't just Damon Albarn and his gang of hapless goons. It's us, me and you, 2D. There'll be curtains for anyone who stops us, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, curtains. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, no one rubs me out, yeah. I'll bloody kill you.
My sentiments exactly. So you're in?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, okay.
That's one of my favorite 2D lines ever. Is, yeah, okay. It's like, he's not. Poor 2D.
Happy ending for Murdoch and the gang, for eventually, they were seen going on tour with the live band, starting at a festival in Beirut. They continued going on tour. However, they were more like roadies because they spent the entirety of their shows locked in the dressing room. Even though the album had already been released, one artist really wanted to be on the new Gorillaz record, so they made their own track.
This wasn't in the original. I completely forgot about Don Chromatic, and so I put this together and released it as a short, and this video was the first time that you were able to witness it in full widescreen. Whoa.
It would be Daly, who got his own submarine and ignored all of 2D's warnings not to come. But he was determined. He wanted those downloads. Once he arrived, Murdoch heard him singing to a seagull while covered in oil, and he had some golden pipes. So, recognizing talent, Murdoch slipped a bag over his head and had him sing his song.
I think the original quote that Murdoch said was, "Talent recognizes talent," and I was like, no, he's not talented. He's you know, he did. Murdoch is all right on the bass, but I'm not going to give Murdoch that credit. That's just a silly thing to say about an animated character in a video that has 1 million views. 1 million.
Don Chromatic. It was released as a single and as a bonus track in some reissues of the album. During the American leg of the tour, 2D had been working on new Gorillaz music entirely on his iPad, experimenting with different sounds everywhere he went. This collection of songs eventually was released as The Fall. Released on Christmas Day for free on Gorillaz.com, it had an official release of April 18th, 2011, with the singles Revolving Doors and Amarillo. When the three make it back to Plastic Beach after the tour, Murdoch records his 5th and final episode of his pirate radio show. But in doing so, it alerts the black clouds to his location, leading to an attack on Plastic Beach. This is where the Rhinestone Eyes video comes into play, where the boogeyman and the black clouds have caught up to Murdoch, making their way to Plastic Beach. It's revealed that the boogeyman is a rejected 5th horseman of the apocalypse named Flatulence, who is out for Murdoch. He also summoned the Gorillaz live band, revealing that they had been a part of the Black Cloud this whole time. With a full-on assault taking place, Cyborg Noodle gathers the collaborators to return fire, but doing so, she gets shot. Murdoch hides for his life and 2D is still trapped in his room. However, 2D squanders in fear when he sees the whale that's been watching over him this whole time is coming straight for him. He gets swallowed whole by the whale, right as a giant hand grabs a hold of it and tosses it far away. It's Russell! He had finally made it! He opens his mouth and out comes the real original Noodle. She removes her cat mask to reveal the facial burn she got from the El Mañana shoot. Still though, the island was under heavy fire, so all the band could do now was escape. Here's where we hit a crossroads. Plastic Beach has an ending that was retconned with the release of Humans. While I'm not going to get into it this video, The dedicated video I made for Plastic Beach goes into detail about it, so check that out if you're interested. But for now, let's talk about the canon ending to Plastic Beach.
But she said, can you...
You know, it's been forever since I've watched that.
Moves her cat mask to reveal the facial burn she got from the El Mañana shoot. Still though, the island was under heavy fire, so all the band could do now
Hopefully you guys are as
was
interested
escape.
as I am, because I haven't seen this since I made it on August 30th, 2023. So I mean, obviously I know like what happens, but I don't remember how I presented it.
When Phase 4 was starting out, they released a series of books detailing what the band had been up to from the Rhinestone Eyes video.
Oh
to
boy,
the
I hope
start
they
of the
don't
phase.
retcon that as
This
well.
retcon the original ending Plastic Beach had in service of a new one. Everything I said before is canon, and in the next video I will be talking about the new story. But I brought in a couple friends to tell you the ending that never happened.
Endings, there's two.
The island had been completely destroyed by the Black Clouds, satisfying them into leaving the band alone. The boogeyman made his way up to Murdoch's headquarters to find him standing under his
Reminder,
war
this is
tent.
not canon. Hold on, can I put like a... I'm gonna put like a little text thing. Text right there. Create new, not canon. There we go. Not canon.
He took his soul, making his mission complete.
However, this was not Murdoch. He hired someone that the community named Imposter Murdoch, to stand in a Murdoch mask and pretend to be him. So when the boogeyman came to collect his soul, he got the wrong one.
Right after this, he was caught by the creature known as the Evangelist. They are considered to be the yang to the boogeyman's yin, and they whipped him out immediately. Cyborg Noodle, now malfunctioning from the bullet in the head, made an attempt on Murdoch's life, in which
No, Gregory, it is not canon!
Her.
God!
Saved 2D from the well, and they started making their way back home. Murdoch then claims he got into a rowboat, but was swept away by a typhoon to Hawaii. Here he hosted the We Are 10 radio show to celebrate Gorillaz' 10-year anniversary. But it was revealed that Murdoch wasn't in Hawaii. Instead, a ransacked house at 212 Wobble Street in London. All of Gorillaz are here, with the still giant Russell living on the roof, along with the floating island. The last thing we see is the band getting evicted from their house, and 2D being surprisingly happy about it.
What's even crazier is another scrapped ending. Throughout the phase, there are mentions of the Book of Man. This is a book that Murdoch comes across detailing the story of the universe from the Big Bang to chapter 13 titled The End. However, this chapter is ripped out. What's strange is Murdoch is revealed to have been around since the very beginning, being present during historical moments and endlessly reincarnated. At the end of the phase, chapter 13 was going to be found, detailing that a giant hand was going to come out of the ocean and drag Plastic Beach under. Turns out, Plastic Beach was connected to a huge drain on the ocean floor, and when being drug under, caused it to open. This thing causes everything to go into the drain, ending the universe as we know it. Plastic Beach, the final album at the end of the world. Weird stuff, man.
And with that, that is the lore for Plastic.
All right, nice little side thing there. A little side tangent, little side quest. It's weird to think that could have been in at one point. Like, just imagine Plastic Beach being like the final Gorillaz album, and like the lore ends with like the whole universe falling apart. Although, and I know Young Smitty is going to get a kick out of this, and he's going to make me watch more of it, but it could be like JoJo. Yeah, see, I get that. I get that reference. It's like a complete time reset. So maybe that's what might have happened. Damon Albarn has said that Gorillaz can continue without him and Jamie Hewlett because it's animated. They just have to get in another singer. And so who knows? Maybe that was him like throwing in the towel, being like, okay, well, reset. We're reset. Here's some new characters with a new singer and all of that. and which is one, because that was when Jamie and Damon had that falling out in between phase 3 and 4, and that's why it took so long. It's because they were fighting like little babies because Damon thought that the artwork wasn't living up to the music, which is completely insane. Damon, there's something wrong with you, man.
Can you hold my coat for me? And I had 2 cups of orange juice in my hand, and I said, I can't. I've got two cups of orange juice in my hand. And then she just started hitting me with her handbag.
Murdoch
the
in the
attack on
background.
Plastic Beach had, once again, left the band separated after a brief reunion. 2D was still trapped in the whale's mouth. Murdoch and Cyborg Noodle hopped in a submarine and made their escape, and the still giant Russell shoved Noodle in his mouth and got out of Dodge. Somewhere off the coast of Japan, Russell was mistaken for a whale and was harpooned. He managed to escape, but lost Noodle in the process. He drifted through the ocean, wounded and delirious, until he lost consciousness. He washed up on a North Korean beach, where he was then transported to Pyongyang, exhibited like a modern-day Gulliver. The leader claimed that Russell was Pulgasari, the North Korean equivalent of Godzilla, and he had conquered him. Eventually, the food rations caused Russell to shrink back down to normal size, where he was then sent back to England, the leader claiming that he defeated Pulgasari. Russell wandered the streets until Gorillaz collaborator Jeff Wooton let him crash on his couch. A few days later, he got a call, and without delay, Russell made his way to West London. Noodle woke up in a strange...
Now imagine. Now luckily, let's bring this back. Let's bring this back. Thank God, because there for a little bit everyone was scared.
Gorillaz, what is this? In a repost detailing what the band has been up to in between Plastic Beach and Humans, someone's story was altered for the worst. Now, instead of accidentally releasing a demon while pearl diving and needing to infiltrate his base to decapitate him, Noodle was groomed into working at a sex club. What? After the attack on Plastic Beach, Noodle hopped on Giant Russell's head and made their escape. On their journey, Russell was mistaken for a whale and harpooned, causing Noodle to become separated. She woke up in a Japanese hospital with amnesia, where the doctors tried to get her memory back but couldn't. Not even slapping her in the face with a fish worked. An old man named Mazu took Noodle under his wing, saying he was a respectful Japanese geisha. But if you remember, that's the name of the demon Noodle had to slay, and it turns out, he's just a huge pervert. I'm going to read this directly from the post. Unknown to Noodle, Mazu was secretly grooming her to join his heirloom of slaves, forcibly employed in his empire of seedy sex clubs. Why? When it was time for Noodle to go to work, the sight of the geisha slaves frightened Noodle. Then, hearing El Manana over one of the boys' radios, she finally snapped her memory back. Thank God freaking El Manana was playing at a sex club. She took a samurai sword from the wall, decapitated Mazu, and freed all the geisha slaves. After escaping the bodyguards, Noodle hopped in a FedEx crate and mailed herself to West London, where the rest of the story goes on. All of this makes me wonder, Gorillaz, what is this?
So, yeah. Thankfully, I was able to put up that not canon. And we can go on back to normal.
A Japanese village where she was nursed back to health by an old pearl diver named Chiyoko.
I feel like I've heard about this before.
Became her apprentice to repay her, and she was a natural. All was good until one day, Noodle came across a pearl shell of unearthly size. She opened it, releasing the shape-shifting evil demon, Mazu.
Now you made me wondering, why Pete Davidson? I have a counterpoint. Why not?
And the only way she could do that was by chopping his head off. But this was difficult because finding a shapeshifter is really hard. For years, Noodle tracked Mazu, and she finally found him in Tokyo, where he was at the top of the criminal underworld. She disguised herself and infiltrated his headquarters. While he was distracted by a drinking game, she finished the job. She escaped Mazu's bodyguards and packed herself into a FedEx crate. Where was she sending herself to? West London. After a lifetime of eating ocean garbage, the whale that had swallowed 2D had died. His carcass washed up on a deserted island where 2D was finally free to die of starvation. For months, 2D was stranded, forced to eat the whale that he had previously lived in, until one day, he spotted a plane. Moved to tears, 2D went the direction the plane was flying, and 23 minutes later, he was in the middle of a full-scale beach rave. He wasn't stranded at all. He was in Guadalupe, off the Mexican coast. 2D joined the party, taking some strange-tasting brownies and getting third in a wet t-shirt contest. This gave 2D a eureka moment. He was going to take a gap year to find himself. It turned out to be easy because, well, he was right there. But he stayed anyway. That is until he got fired from his job of weaving friendship bracelets. It's time to fly home. He exited the plane to find someone holding a sign saying wanker. He was home. 2D made his way to West London. With only a crate of rum and cyborg noodle, Murdoch hopped in a submarine and made his way through the ocean. He traveled for a long time, and it wasn't until he ran out of booze that he needed to empty his bladder. He returned to the surface to find his worst nightmare, the battleship Ringo, owned by EMI. They had searched the earth for Murdoch, and they finally found him. They locked him in Dungeon Abbey, located beneath Abbey Road Studios, and for 3 years, it served as Murdoch's home. But then, the music industry desperately needed a new Gorillaz album.
It's so freaking real.
Murdoch agreed to write this album in exchange for his release and a carton of cigarettes. He moved to a studio home in West London, known as Studio 13. He began to get the band back together so they could create the album known as
We are still humans. How will we know?
Everyone noticed that the time in prison, well, this time, really had an effect on Murdoch. He actually showed regret for his past actions, but he would still tease the band from time to time. The band recorded throughout 2016, releasing a song and music video for Hallelujah Money on January 19th, 2017. Then, finally, Humans would be released on
Thank
April 28th.
God I didn't have to talk about what this album was about, instead the lore around the album.
2017, being the band's first album in 7 years. To celebrate, Murdoch decided to throw a party to end all parties. So the band went scouting to where they could throw it. They ended up at a haunted house in Detroit called the Spirit House. This would become the Saturn's Bars video, where the band gets haunted by the demons residing there. Alongside this video, the band would release 3 other singles, Andromeda, Ascension, and We Got the Power. Later, 2 more singles would be released, being Let Me Out and The Apprentice.
I'm sorry, I was
scouting to where become the band would release 3, where the band gets haunted by the demons residing there.
Oh, yeah. It's like I knew I put something there. Oh, I'm trying to remember what's the shortcut to go frame by frame. It's just the bath. The bath. You know what it is.
Alongside this video, the band would release 3 other singles, Andromeda.
Okay, we've already heard this.
One of the biggest criticisms of Humans was 2D wasn't on it enough. So, 2D went and made a song and music video called Sleeping Powder as a response. The band then went on a world tour.
Only took 3 days to make the music and shoot the video.
And even had their own festival called the Demon Days Fest.
God, you have no idea how badly I wanted to go to that, and the one in LA a year later.
A new live band was constructed for this, including former members of the previous live band. After this wrapped up, they released their final single from Humans, being Strobe Light, on August 4th. The band is at a party where 2D and Noodle are seen having fun, Russell is sleeping, and Murdoch is doing something. It appears he's making a deal with the mysterious figure, something that can't be good. After the video, he's making a deal with the mysterious figure, something
You guys want Motorola ad part 2?
That can't be good. After the video, the band released the Human Super Deluxe box set, another song being Garage Palace, and even their own magazine, creatively called G Magazine. In February of 2018, Gorillaz won the Brit Award for Best British Band. The acceptance speech had to be transmitted from Wormwood Scrubs Prison.
Sorry my bandmates can't be with me. I'm detained by your Madge. Not the American Madge, our Brit Madge. Jack the Hat, Cyrus the Virus, Big Balls McGinnis, no balls McKinney, long legged.
What happened this time, Murdoch?
Yeah, Phase 4 was a nothing phase for lore.
With Murdoch out of the picture and humans being very successful, 2D decided it was his time to shine. They recruited Ace D. Coppola to replace Murdoch temporarily. He was famous for being the leader of the Gangrene Gang in the Powerpuff Girls, which Noodle was a fan of. He was also a close friend to Murdoch and was green, which made him perfect. With 2D in the driver's seat, the band recorded their next album, The Now Now. On May 31st, the band released the song and music video for Humility, where we see the band enjoy their day at the beach. The most surprising is 2D, roller skating around the boardwalk much happier than usual. That is until Russell trips him, causing him to lose his balance and make his eyes go black, signifying his worst mood.
Okay, well there I kind of mentioned it, but it's funny how Jack Black was what caused the Gorillaz breakup in 2001 or 2002, and then he's just kind of here.
They would release more singles for the Now Now, being Lake Zurich, Sorcerers, Fireflies, and Hollywood before the album was officially released on June 29th.
There's only 11 songs on this album, and they released like 5 singles for it. It was ridiculous.
2018. When the band announced a tour in support of the new album, Murdoch decided it was time to escape. He says that El Mierda, the man he met in the strobe light video, was a demon crime lord who framed him for smuggling, so Murdoch wanted to track him down. He couldn't bribe his way out of prison due to Noodle freezing his bank account, so he needed to do the next best thing, earn people's respect.
This is me cutting an onion.
He decided to pick a fight with the toughest prisoner in the facility, Big Balls McGinnis, in which he lost. So he went to the next best thing, talking to Vlad the Inhaler, who was an associate of El Mierda. Murdoch recruited Gorillaz fans to message Vlad to catfish him and get information, which worked perfectly. Murdoch now had the coordinates to El Mierda's hideout in Patagonia. Meanwhile, Noodle had become worried about 2D. Why was he so uncharacteristically happy? She had become even more worried when she finally answered one of Murdoch's.
Yeah, so the Powerpuff Girls, there is like the creators of Gorillaz, Damon Albarn and Jamie Hewlett, are really good friends with whatever, I don't know, I think it's like Craig McGuffin. It's not Craig McGuffin, but and so he just allowed them to be in Gorillaz, which is funny because originally it was supposed to be Daffy Duck, but obviously that got turned down. If you watch the Powerpuff Girls movie, there is a there's an ad for, let's bring this over here, open image, a new tab. Yep, there it is. Gorillaz Live. Yeah, that's it. Hold on. Puff Girls. Don't ask why that's capitalized. I forgot that my caps lock was on. Oh, and then so Jamie Hewlett, the artist of Gorillaz, drew this, and then the artist for Powerpuff Girls drew this. Let's see here. I'm hoping that there's like, that's not the best quality. Yeah, there it is. He did more illustrations, but I don't know. Oh, yeah, he also did this as well. This. And this. Oh, and this. So, yeah. Pretty cool.
Fox calls that she's been avoiding, and he told her about El Mierda. She immediately recognized him as a soul harvester and may have taken 2D's soul. She decided to follow the coordinates to get to the bottom of this, but not for Murdoch's sake, but 2D's. She got lost on the way, but got back on track with the help of some mountain cats. Noodle was taking too long, and Murdoch needed to get out now, so he tried to escape through a sewage pipe. He waded through feces and piss until he got to a locked gate. He managed to get it open, only for there to be another wall, and the liquid to rise, leading people to believe that he had drowned. All the while, the band is celebrating the Now Now success by releasing another single, Trends.
This video while
Noodle
Murdoch
finally
is
made it to the
literally
coordinates
like
that Murdoch
drowning in
found.
poop.
But there was no secret hideout. Instead, it was a health spa. It turns out El Mierda stopped his evil deeds years ago, converting his lair into a wellness center. Better yet, he had never even heard of Murdoch. Confused by this, Noodle researched why Murdoch actually went to jail, which was for unpaid parking tickets. He was only supposed to serve 9 months and be released on the day that he allegedly drowned. Murdoch had lied about everything, completely fabricating the story of his imprisonment. The guy he tried to blame it on was actually just a leather salesman named Juan. Days later, a yak appeared, with Murdoch on it. He explained that his near-death experience in the sewage was an eye-opening moment for him. He truly was a changed man, and he was going to make things right. So he bought the yak, who was once human but transformed into a demonic yak by El Mierda, and tied himself to her, along with a letter pleading for Noodle's life. He then started talking about the imprisonment story and how it was mostly bollocks. He was acting out for attention and felt the need to keep it up, even though the story grew more and more insane. He felt terrible for putting Noodle in unnecessary danger and made the trek into the snow. They spent the day at the spa before heading back to finish the final leg of the Now Now tour. They sent Ace packing, and Noodle learned that 2D was acting differently thanks to Murdoch not being around to bully him. Murdoch believes that he missed him, which isn't entirely wrong. The Now Now is 2D's album, and a major theme on it is longing for someone you used to be close with. The live visuals all but confirmed that in the Gorillaz universe, these songs were written about Murdoch. Even though he's bullied and abused him, 2D still values Murdoch's friendship. Near the end of 2018, Gorillaz collaborated with G-Shock
you would
to
never
make some
expect
watches
this from
and
the,
go on
like,
an interstellar adventure. They got into some beef with aliens before befriending them with the power of G-Shock. They also had their second Demon Days Fest,
you wouldn't expect
this time in America opposed to England.
Feel Good Inc.
The band then took a brief hiatus to travel the world before beginning work on the machine.
I'm sorry, like, so one of the things that, like, I think the best part about this video is the freaking transitions, and I think it's
Then
awesome.
took a brief-
like the way that I like it, say like the name of it, like is like begin work on, and then like Demon Days, and then I really like this.
Hiatus to travel the world before beginning work on the machine.
I think it's satisfying. Not me bragging, even though.
The band once again went their separate ways, but not for long. While at Lake Ermia, Noodle sent a postcard stating that the world is disappearing, the forest is burning, the seas are overflowing, and she wants to see all these places before it's gone forever. She then asks if the machine is ready. 2D, who is in Beirut again after failing to get a law degree all those years ago, asks what the parts are used for. Russell, in Mexico, is in love with the hot sauce, so he's planning on bringing it to the masses. Oh yeah, and the machine is going to be ready real soon. Murdoch, he's just drinking an Ibiza. The band reunited at Studio 13, being rebranded to the New Kong Studios. Here, they activated the machine, which was revealed to be the Song Machine. Russell described it as a new way of doing what they do. The machine runs on the unknown, on pure chaos. You will never know who will walk into the studio next, so you must be ready to produce like there's no tomorrow. Suddenly, a portal becomes available to the band members, allowing them to go wherever they want when the machine is on. This allows the band to collaborate with artists all around the world, like Slow Thigh and Slaves and Momentary Bliss, and Fatimara Diawara and Desolé. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that.
So I'm saying sorry for I'm saying sorry for like if I mispronounced the woman's name. But since I say it Desolé, I know it's how you say Desolé because they say it in the song like 28 times. But I've gotten a lot of comments saying it's funny that you're apologizing for mispronouncing the word sorry. You're saying sorry for mispronouncing sorry, and yeah.
With this collab, 2D, Noodle, and Russell stepped through the portal to Lake Como to record with her, but Murdoch was left behind, unable to open the portal. This left him at Kong, sad and depressed. Even though he said that he wasn't, he lied. Out of jealousy, Murdoch invited 2D on a motorcycle ride and tried to drug him with truth serum in the video for Ares. Murdoch thinks 2D controls the portals and he wants the scoop. When Noodle heard about this motorcycle ride, she quickly acted because she knew something was up. When Russell and Noodle finally caught up, the band got into a fight, leading to their messed up appearance in the Friday 13th video. Murdoch never got that information due to being knocked out before the serum kicked in. After this, he locked himself in Kong's basement, working on something that would change the effing world. Something that required 500 pounds of wood and a blow-up doll. This would be revealed in the music video for Pac-Man, his own argon accumulator, a box that blocks traumatic energy and replaces it with healing energy. Oh, and also he has his own portal, but he's not too impressed with it. He also got 2D a Pac-Man machine that entranced him to play for 9 hours straight. Turns out, it was haunted by something, and the other band members would feel the effects of the game. The band spent a lot of time converting the old Winnebago into the SS Winnebago Humility 3, a full-on spaceship that flew them to the moon in the Strange Times video. Noodle destroyed the billboard referenced in the lyrics.
I told you, there's nothing to be alarmed about. Nothing to be alarmed about when it comes to Strange Times.
For Magic City. Murdoch fell into an obelisk, transporting him back to Kong Studios, and Russell wrote the message, "Be the change," for everyone to see. Then, while 2D is singing with Elton John in the Pink Phantom video, Murdoch tries to catch the titular ghost. This is an embodiment of negative energy. It could have came from the portals, it could have came from the Pac-Man machine, it could have come from the negative energy radiating from Murdoch's argon accumulator. I like to believe it originated there and then hid in the Pac-Man machine until this video. Gorillaz finally released the album Song Machine Season 1 Strange Times on October 23rd, 2020. Shortly after, the band took a drive through Vinewood from Grand Theft Auto 5, and this is my favorite video throughout the entire phase. I love seeing the stylo modded into GTA, driving around familiar locations. Oh, and the Pink Phantom from the last video is locked in the trunk. Too bad Rockstar took it down, causing them to change the video to them driving throughout Los Angeles. Anywho, an abrupt portal...
Like, words cannot describe how much I love the original Valley of the Pagans music video. But then they allowed Lil Nas X to make an entire video for Old Town Road in Red Dead Redemption 2. But God forbid they put a modded car in GTA and allow some British people to drive around in it.
Appears, taking the band back to the place they regret most. Plastic Beach. 10 years after the events of Plastic Beach, the band returns and is immediately hit with the trauma of the experience. Russell is huge again, Noodle finds her old mask, 2D spits up a well, and Murdoch finds himself in the Boogeyman's mask, a deactivated cyborg Noodle, and Daly, who...
I think that right there... Daly. I think that confirmed that Murdoch was the Boogeyman. That he was the one that... he was the one that kidnapped 2D. And then also Daly, he didn't make it off the album island.
Apparently never made it off the island. As the Pink Phantom flies away, a sea monster emerges from the ocean to destroy the island. Everything is engulfed in flames and explosions, and Cyborg Noodle sinks to the bottom of the sea. The band quickly makes their way up to the lighthouse, where Murdoch once held his pirate radio show. A portal suddenly opens, and 2D, Russell, and Noodle make their way through it, leaving Murdoch to sink with the island. That is, until 2D comes back, grabbing Murdoch's hand and pulling him through the portal, metaphorically showing that he forgives Murdoch for all the trauma he put him through those years ago. Starting in October, the band started the Song Machine Radio, a show where each member got to play some music from the album, music from collaborators, and talk to their guests. Then, to celebrate the final single for Song Machine releasing, the band performed a show in the basement of Kong Studios and live streamed it for the world to see.
I was there, I watched it.
The first time we got to hear Song Machine music live. Sometime after this performance, a demonic sinkhole started to form.
Dang, you could tell the redub there.
Under the new Kong Studios, causing the band to be evicted. They went on a road trip in the Winnebago, and during this trip, they made the Meanwhile EP, being released on August 26, 2021. This is a homage to the Notting Hill Carnival, an annual event that's been shut down 2 years in a row due to the coronavirus. For the 20-year anniversary of Gorillaz, they released an almanac and, coincidentally, never-before-seen classified documents. These were found by a whistleblower for an organization called the Department of Music Correction. or DMC. These documents were released in a reissue of their self-titled album, and the whistleblower, known as G-Flat, was fired. With no place to live and no studio, the band needed to relocate, and Murdoch might have found just the place in Silver Lake, LA.
Here is, as of right now, the most current phase. They are in talks of making a new album, which in turn, a new phase, phase 8. But this right here is the video that catapulted Self-Titled Productions into what it is. Hang on just a little bit longer. I can't believe we watched this for an hour. I really can't. How's it going, the WWN? How's it going?
Our story begins when Gorillaz move into a house in the hills above Silver Lake, LA to record their new album. Murdoch keeps getting distracted by their neighbors, more specifically the head hostess, Moonflower, who he has the hots for. Another thing distracting him is a beautiful prophecy, a prophecy stating that he should start a cult with him as the leader. The prophecy was very clear on that last part. Russell and Noodle opposed this at first, but Murdoch reassured them that this is a nice cult for nice people. After a chat, Russell and Noodle agreed to join in hopes of bringing people together to make a better world. And thus, the last cult was born. A great day of reckoning was nigh, and there was lots of work to be done. So, at a diner, the band divided their work by each person. Murdoch would be the great leader and use his charm and shamelessness to expand the flock of the last cult. Russell was named Seeker of Truth and would use his intellect and Googling skills to shed the light on Murdoch's prophecy, which was, at best, pretty vague. Noodle became the scholar.
I don't know if you guys can hear that, but like, cats are going crazy out there.
Studying ancient texts in order to write the last cult's doctrine, and Tootie became the chosen one. Chosen mainly to sweep the mansion floors and launder the sacred robes. Murdoch has Tootie dig a lot of holes too, for some reason. And Russell begins watching a broadcast called the Static Channel, saying that it has coded...
That's what I thought that the new album was going to be called, was the Static Channel. I really wish that it would have been called the Static Channel, because I think that's better than Cracker Island. And also, I that would have made for an awesome album cover. That TV with Static Channel. Again, better than what we got. I love Cracker Island. Cracker Island is overhated, but yeah, the promotional, they definitely could have done better on that end.
Messages hidden within the static that will lead them to the promised land. One day, 2D orders a pizza. He hears knocking at the door, thinking it's the delivery guy, but it's their neighbor, Moonflower. She came to tell Murdoch to stop looking over the fence at her. To impress her, Murdoch buys an obelisk, like the one that she has, but hers is taller and more freakier, which she doesn't even notice. This annoys Murdoch, along with her calling him Martin. However, he still tells 2D that Moonflower is the one and that he loves her. It's at this point, Noodle starts to wonder if this whole cult thing was already starting to go sideways.
Hey, what up?
Either way, Murdoch tasks 2D with painting the obelisk with 6 coats of the last cult's signature colors, pink. Soon after, 2D goes next door to have a cup of tea, and he finds out that they're a cult too, known as the Forever Cult. They take a liking to 2D, saying that he's welcome anytime. Murdoch is heartbroken by this. How could she prefer someone so lowly over him? These feelings would have to wait, because Russell was getting closer to solving the prophecy, while Noodle finds a pamphlet from the people next door detailing a free aura exam. 2D asks her if she wants to go, but she declines, saying that nothing is free. Next door, Moonflower asks 2D to join the Forever Cult, saying that he won't have to dig so many holes. When talking about Moonflower, 2D says that she is much kinder than Murdoch. She even says that he has a nice aura. Meanwhile, Russell is very in tune with the Static Channel, writing nonsense on the whiteboards and making a mess of the wallpaper. The band start to wonder if he had lost it, yet Murdoch still has hope for him. Noodle finds a movie poster from 1923 called The Hills Are Hungry. The lead actress,
Lady Hollowdown looks suspiciously similar to Moonflower. After looking her up, Noodle finds that she was a big shot in the early days of Hollywood. She bought up land and was a big investor in something called Hollywoodland. Reviews for her movie were really bad though, but Noodle had one conclusion: the Forever Cult and that movie studio were one and the same. Then, Murdoch stops broiling himself to extract his divine essence and plans on bottling it for the masses, calling it the essence of Murdoch. This leads to a very unpleasant and toxic smell that Noodle isn't too fond of. Russell, on the other hand, is getting ready for the bumpy ride that is the way to the promised land. After almost a whole year of watching the Static Channel, Russell believes that the portal to the promised land will open above the Hollywood sign at New Year. He shows up, bag packed and ready to go, and nothing happens. After this, Russell is so tuned into the Static Channel that he has stopped responding. Even Murdoch is worried. Some minor yet important, I guess, events that happened are Moonflower gives 2D a picture of an eyeball and tells him to put it above.
So the Noodle backstory, like the one for Phase 4, where like the weird redo, no, that's no longer canon. Thank God.
His bed, and then
8 cats. Oh my goodness. Sounds lovely, but at the same time expensive and loud and destructive.
We'll watch
I
him
love
sleep.
cats. Love them.
And then another one is Murdoch tells 2D to dig another hole, saying that the new him is at the bottom, and then the ground begins to shake as he's digging. However, things start to pick up when Moonflower tells 2D that Murdoch is a false prophet, and he believes her. Not because of the cult thing, but because Murdoch told 2D that he would pay him for painting the obelisk, but never did. He's a false prophet. Murdoch didn't take too kindly to this and calls him a non-believer, saying that he's not going to the promised land. 2D is sad about this, but at least he can get the peppermint tea the neighbors make for him. He says that they grow it in the garden and that it tastes funny, but it's so good. So good, in fact, that he may back and go get another. And at one point, he never comes back to Gorillaz' HQ. Noodle gets worried and goes next door, only to find that the compound is empty, all but a ripped piece of paper with a cryptic message, potentially putting 2D in danger. Murdoch is still upset, going on a rant about 2D, calling him a traitor, sworn enemy of the last cult. He's even wearing their signature color of blue. Noodle thinks the Forever Cult kidnapped 2D, but Murdoch thinks he's getting back at him for the Paula Cracker incident 20 years ago, where 2D's girlfriend cheated on him with Murdoch. Making things more stressful is Russell, who has been up for 12 days straight watching that Static Channel, not even reacting to his favorite muffins being thrown away.
Go back to watching Dan Henschel.
However, over a period of time, 2D still hasn't come back, and Murdoch starts to believe Noodle, becoming worried and pleads for 2D to come home. However, Russell finally cracks the code and realizes just how much danger 2D is in. On February 8th, 2023, under the Hollywood sign, there will be a rupture in time that will allow the Forever Cult to stay forever
This is bringing
young.
back so many good
They just
memories.
need a 100% pure blue flower to sacrifice.
This is like it's...
And that flower being 2D. They have theoretically been doing this ritual every 25 years, starting in 1923 with Lady Hollowdown, which is an anagram for Hollywoodland. The band makes a plan to save 2D. Drugged out of his mind, 2D slurps on the smoothie Moonflower gave him. He has a sense of hope and joy seeing the sacred wheel being prepared. Everything is going to be okay. And finally, we have reached the silent running video, where we see 2D tied up to the sacred wheel and being lowered down to be sacrificed to the monster seen in the Hills Are Hungry poster, so that they can keep the Forever Cult young. 2D's bandmates come to save him, but it seems like even Moonflower has a change of heart when 2D shoots her a heart-piercing look. After the last cult's cover is revealed, the two factions battle it out. Murdoch goes to save 2D, even though Moonflower was already doing that, but he isn't as strong as her, so the weight of 2D and the wheel begin to pull him forward. This slams him against the well, causing his essence of Murdoch to fall out of his robe. Seeing 2D free-falling, the monster gets excited and jumps for him, not knowing he's actually about to intake pure 100% toxic substances. This causes the monster to explode, saving 2D and killing everyone else. Moonflower, on the other hand, simply falls over unconscious. The explosion from the monster causes the police to arrive.
and Murdoch flees the scene while Noodle and Russell check on 2D.
Wow, Noodle and Russell.
Although Russ doesn't seem to be in the best mind space. With the band arrested, this is where the music video for Cracker Island starts. After being arrested, the three were taken to Los Angeles County Hospital where they were questioned and I assume checked on, especially 2D and Russell. A heavily drugged 2D is telling the police what went down, while Russell is once again watching the static channel. Noodle is trying her best to just do damage control. Russell then seems to get possessed by some force or entity and walks over to the group. Then, a mysterious ghostly figure makes its way to the band as Murdoch makes his grand entrance. They take off the blanket to reveal that it's Moonflower, but she morphs into Lady Hollowdown from the Hills Are Hungry poster. They share a kiss as a news report of what just went down is on TV.
Oh yeah, I remember why that, like, so I redubbed that after part 2 was done.
And 2D sings There's Nothing Left to Say. Cracker Island, the album.
There's a monkey in there. I mean, it's not a gorilla, but I know. I get it.
Released on February 24th, 2000.
There has to be a monkey. There had to be a gorilla in there somewhere, especially in Phase 1. There's a lot of Phase 1 art where, like, they have like a little
instead of following a
remote
cult
control
theme like
monkey
Lore did, it went for
gorilla.
a more isolating approach by detailing what it's like on the titular island. It explores themes of loneliness, fake stars, social media, and others. Later on, Moonflower, or going by her real name, Eleanor Hollowdown, revealed her backstory. Time cannot be stopped, or can it? The newly founded Hollywood might have been a solution to that, being forever immortalized in film. With no talent but all the money in the world, she started a film production company and made herself the star. It was here that they discovered the one who dwells beneath, the Hungry One. The first sacrifice was an accident. A young crew member fell into the pit and was devoured. After Eleanor released her first film and it flopped, the crew realized that they weren't getting any older. They're staying forever young. However, over time, the miracle wore off, so they had to find a second sacrifice. And it was here that they made a pact. Every 25 years, they must feed the monster down below. Time has passed, and now 2D was the next sacrifice, but his aura was the purest they had ever seen. Racked with guilt and wanting the cycle to be over, Eleanor began dropping clues to the band to intervene and stop the nightmare, in which they did. Because of this, she was given a few more days of mortality, and finally agreed to go on that date with Murdoch. Eleanor, who is now restored back to her true age of 123 after the events of Silent Running, still went on that date with Murdoch. They went and saw The Hills Are Hungry, the film that started it all. However, she didn't make it to the end of the movie, disintegrating to dust. Noodle watched the pink dawn rise over LA. The new tomorrow was here. She went to blow up the Hollywood sign to end the biggest cult that still remained, but she reconsidered, thinking that there's a better way. Russell is finally getting rest after trying to find the new world. Off-grid in the California desert, he has no TV, no phone, just sun, sand, sodas, and sweet, sweet silence. Except for the vultures and gunshots from the biker gang in the next valley. Russell, for the first time in a long time, felt good. 2D went down to the cave that the monster was in and where he was almost sacrificed, and played a beautiful tune. He didn't hold a grudge. There's nothing he can't forgive or forget. And finally, the cult disbanded, and the LAPD has a search warrant for their LA mansion. So now 2D, Murdoch, Russell, and Noodle pick up fake passports and are off to Mumbai.
Lord, have mercy. What a watch.
And there you have it. Gorillaz, the full story, phases 1 through 7. It has its ups and downs, but overall, I really love it. I became a Gorillaz fan in 2013, and since then these characters have had such a huge impact on me. I am so happy that you guys enjoyed these videos as much as I enjoyed making them, and I'm glad I can make this complete video a reality. This has been Self-Titled Productions, and I'll see you next time.
So, yeah, that's... Whew. Notice how they never made a Phase 8. Give it time. Give it time. So, videos. Yeah, it's a long one. I wanted it to be comprehensive. Time for the Peter Griffin game. Oh my god. You've been waiting this entire time for the Peter Griffin game, haven't you? Well, so yeah, Gorillaz was the first. Cherry, you returned right at the end. Like, we just finished the video. Which, you were the one that watched it 3 times already, right? So, you didn't, like, you know, a 4th, maybe you didn't need a 4th. I don't think it's that good. But, so, friend Nancy said you had one. Oh, okay. So yeah, Gorillaz was the first band that I have ever gotten into. Before Gorillaz, I listened to basically what was on the radio and like video game soundtracks and and like nerdcore songs. Like, I was huge in the DA games. So Gorillaz was my first like forte into real music. And it's I immediately became infatuated with them. Like, whenever I first listened to Demon Days, I knew that this was going to be like a huge obsession. I didn't know how obsessed I would get. Like, you know, I made a hour and 17-minute long video just on the lore, and that's not even including the hour and 23-minute long video that I did on my collection. So it's funny because and then also I made a 43-minute tier list. So put that all together and you get how much Gorillaz content I've produced. That's not even including the shorts that I've done, the individual videos. Yeah, I've always said, like, well, ever since, not always, you know, I've only been doing this for 2 years now, but I've said that, like, the money that I made from these Gorillaz videos is like paying back for all of the times that I was broke in middle school and high school. Like, literally, I would get, like, I got $10 a month, a week, because, you know, I don't have a job. I'm a measly little high schooler and I need food for money. I need money for food. But I wouldn't buy food. Instead, I would buy Gorillaz merchandise. So, yeah, and then now it's Gorillaz have finally paid me back. Thank you, Damon Albarn. Thank you, Jamie Hewlett. I love you. I'm excited to see what you do next. But high school broke days were real. Yeah, they sure were. Fun fact, another way that I like, so I would cut weeds as well, and then my biggest source of income was burning discs. So that's also how I got a lot of money for Gorillaz. But yes, I love them. They've changed my life more than, like, a lot of things. Like, I think if I were to have a kid, Gorillaz would still change my life more than that. I gotta do Blur. Oh boy, my favorite. Oh, my favorite lore. Damon Albarn and his friends. I don't know. I've listened to Blur. I can't get into them the same way I can Gorillaz. I just don't think that Damon has a voice for more rock and alternative
But just got in the group. Thank you, Blue Train Productions. We just finished a watch of the entire hour-long video. I can't believe we watched the entire hour-long video. I truly didn't think that I was going to, but I'm still super proud of it. Now, granted, it is like there are some things that I would change, like mainly in my delivery and the editing, and but no, how can I? It's like, you know, the video, the Cracker Island video is what got me here, where I am, streaming to 13 people with 19.2 thousand subscribers and 2 videos with 1 million. 1 million! Thank you! I know I say it a lot, but thank you. Yeah, Gregory, you watched an hour-long video on a band that you don't even know that all that well. Yeah, my bad. But, okay. So, yeah, I like Gorillaz. Who would have guessed? I've made a bunch of videos on them. Let's talk future for Self-Titled Productions. So, I just saw the message about bros throwing up gang signs. I know I say this a lot, but I do plan on making a return soon. See, it's been 3 months since the Adventure and Boost game video. I have 3 scripts written and a bunch of video ideas. Unfortunately, the security breach video that I wanted to make required the green screen and some other big things, so I had to wait until I got this room done, and things just keep happening. I've mentioned before that my job is in editing, so to come home and immediately start editing on something else before wasn't ideal. But I mentioned that I went on a side quest I can't legally talk about. Literally, I signed an NDA, and but I did some editing work, and it taught me a lot of stuff. And now I feel passionate for editing, and I truly can't wait. I just have to now the only excuse right now is my I just have to get off my butt and actually do it. And that I do plan on it, because like I said, I have scripts written, I have ideas, and I truly want to make them, because you guys are so awesome that you just show up and watch whatever I make. So of course I want to make some new things for you. I don't know. I don't know what I was going to say. What's your favorite Gorillaz song and phase? My favorite Gorillaz song is Last Living Souls. It is the first, I'm just going to say first non-Feel-Good Inc. Clint Eastwood song that I've listened to, so it's like, it has a special place because of that, but also too, it sounds good. 3, I love the lyrical. I love the lyrics, the theme of the song. There we go. Thanks, I already know that I'm awesome. Sure are, Gregory. Just I would wear a helmet anywhere you go, especially the next few days. So, and then my favorite phase is probably phase. I want to say it's a mix-up between 1, 2, and 7. 1, because, you know, it's what brought the band together, you know, it's cool. 2, because it's like grounded yet cartoony at the same time until you get the whole, you know, like floating island thing.
I like Phase 2 a lot, but Phase 7, and Phase 1 Gorillaz, 2 Demon Days, 7 Cracker Island. Cracker Island was so involved that, and it was just so fun piecing it together. Like, I came in right after Plastic Beach, so I wasn't there to witness it, the story unfold in real time. And, but I was here for Cracker Island because it was so involved. Like, the others are just like, yeah, there's some story here. But I forgot about Phase 5, the Now Now. The Now Now is definitively my favorite because Murdoch Goes to Jail has a character arc and 2D is the center of attention. And also he made a journal and I got the journal and I really like reading the journal even though there's nothing in it. Anyway, so I'm trying to start a band. Any tips? I know how to play Master of Puppets and Enter Sandman. That's awesome. The Master of Puppets is like crazy difficult. Let's see here. Do I have any tips for starting a new band? Just try to make it as well known to as many people as you can. So like if like play gigs, like show your parents, show like, and don't be afraid to like take feedback. Like so I don't know if any of you know this, but I make music as well. As a matter of fact, what you're listening to right now is my music. If there's music in the background while I'm talking, that's been my music. I've used my music in that video that you just watched. And well, it's nothing serious. It's like, it's literally like a joke, but like with the whole thing is a joke. But yeah, you got this. I believe in you. Gregory, you can't survive a bullet. So it's just going up and down for Master of Puppets. So your alternative pick. I've heard that alternate picking is harder than complete downstroke, but I have no clue. I don't even want to touch it. It scares me. Find people who have the same taste in music as you. Yes, that would. Greg Glittery and this beat. I can't hear what's playing. I can so I don't know. I know that Mocha Studios was on one song, but as a sample. So yes, I would like to get videos made again. I need to make videos because I feel like I'm going crazy. Every time I go look at my YouTube channel and I see that my last video was 3 months ago, I feel ashamed, especially since you don't use a pick when playing Master of Puppets? You madman. Absolutely insane. But I think it's pathetic that 3 months ago I uploaded a video and I have this many subscribers. So yeah, I would really like to. I had a bunch of things lined out. I had a bunch of ideas lined out that did not pan out. So, however, there is something that you could be looking forward to hopefully soon. We are in the final stages of pre-production, and we are about to start. Well, one video has already been made, but it's not going to be the first video, and we just need to get in talks for actually filming the first video, and then something new will be materializing. So I think that should be exciting, especially if you like listening to my voice and geek out about nerdy stuff. It's a group project, so it's got some friends in there. Don't want to say too much because, if I'm being honest, I've taken a backseat in this. This has been my friend's personal project that he's been dying to get off of the ground. So I'll let him make that announcement when we're ready. But so yeah, more videos coming soon. I would like to live stream more now that I have all this set up. I can I want to have game nights with friends and potentially even Jackbox nights where like we could get the community involved. I think that would be fun. And I've seen where people are playing like Mario Kart World with their viewers. I think that would be freaking sweet. I love Mario Kart. The can you do a Sonic Adventure 2 playthrough in the background? Yes. Actually, I don't know. That's a brilliant idea. So but I'm off track. Thanks, young Smitty / Logan. Not to dox you, but yeah, I would like to doing like a community Mario Kart night is awesome. No one can beat me at Mario Kart 8 except for I will say like no one's been able to beat me up until recently. We made this new friend and she is absolutely goated at Mario Kart. But either way, I want to see if any of you would be able to beat me. And then especially Mario Kart World. I'm not good at Mario Kart World yet. I still need to get used to the rail grinding in the wall. Like I need to know when the best time to use that is and where all the shortcuts are. But I'm sure I'll get there soon enough. But more videos, more live streams. That's the goal. That's the New Year's resolution. So hopefully I will see you guys around more. Now, if you don't mind, I haven't eaten since like 1 p.m. and like I didn't plan to be in this shirt. I planned to be in a Gorillaz shirt, but got back from the gym and didn't have time because I came in here, like I said, I was sick, so I had to like make sure everything was set up, and it was a mess in here. So I got off work at 5, went to the gym, came back here, and streamed. So I am starving. So I am going to go grab me something to eat. If I would have thought about it, I would have got me something to eat while I watched the video, but I ain't that smarticle. Young Smitty AO do a Ben 10 video. Hey, you write the script, buddy. Same with Star Wars, man. Write the script. You can do it. Alright. Once again, for the millionth time, I know I am sorry, but I just want to express my gratitude. Thank you. Because now I have 1 million on not 1, 2 videos. So fun fact, there was I was going to play Secret of the Mimic if we had time, but I'm hungry. And also this has been going on for 3 hours. Can you believe that? 3 hours? But yeah. FNAF on console has 1 million views. Gorillaz, the full story, the complete backstory, phases 1 through 7, has 1 million views. And we'll see if Gorillaz Phase 8 gets 1 million views, and then we can do another reaction video to it. So, good night, everybody. Get some rest. Stay hydrated. Remember to eat. And let's stream Snipe, and then we'll go. Let's see here. Oh my god. That's crazy. Hold on. I don't remember which scene it was. Gregory, send me a comment on this video, the Peter Griffin link, and next time I stream, I swear I will do it. I promise.
this one? There we go.
Alright, gamers. You see that star in the
So this is my friend Jared. He made a... It's an hour and 53 minutes. He does not know how to chop videos. He does not know how to, like, edit or put...
You see that? Oh my god.
He doesn't know how to make things into multiple parts or cut out fluff. But this is... we recorded us playing and 100%ing Super Mario 64 online. And I think it's really funny. I really like it. So I've watched this entire video, and then he made a part 2, which is like it. He left in some questionable things, but yeah. So this is my footage. You can tell which one's his because he really likes playing as the Kid Goku. And
Well, wait,
Go, hurry, Nancy! Nancy,
the
hurry!
audio is very distorted. I
Nancy,
think it's
hurry!
hilarious.
Hurry!
we're gonna get you.
Get it, Nancy!
Do it before. If he gets him, we just team on him. I haven't done this in a while.
Oh, go, get him, get him!
No! Oh my god! Why did he...
Oh my god!
Oh.
Oh my god! I got him!
Take him off. Kill him. Kill him.
I can't!
Free editing program for iPad, iMovie, 100%.
Get him! Ash, get him! Get him, Ash! Oh, got him!
Like a
Kick him again.
warning.
Kick him again. Just do it.
So he is very, very bothersome. Whenever you play any multiplayer game with Jared here, he will go out of his way to make your life miserable. So quite a bit of his footage is just him making us miserable, then us retaliating, which is really funny because it's just funny. I like it.
Whoa! I almost.
Okay.
Why?
Why does Jared sound like a badly rendered voice clips from a PBS computer game? Because look, he's playing on Mac. That's why. Okay. 3 hours and 9 minutes is a little long enough. Let's go back to the camera full screen. Alright, like I said, good night. Get some rest. Stay hydrated. And remember to eat. And remember, always wear your seatbelt. Good night, everybody. Yeah, just turn on notifications. If you hit subscribe, then like you could choose to turn on notifications and like you set it all for notifications. And Gregory, yeah, like my Twitter. It's like the same thing as there. Okay, bye. I'm still streaming. I stopped the recording. I'm just watching myself here. I hit stop recording, and then I didn't hit the stop broadcast. Bro, I don't know how long. I meant to like whenever I was telling you like the Twitter thing, I hit stop recording, but I didn't hit stop streaming. God, now what am I going to do? Now what's it going to be? I can't listen to that. That'll get me demonetized. Nah, I'm not even recording. I mean, I don't need a recording, but it's just nice to have. I have it set to where like it records everything. Oh yeah, that's because. So I just have this like complicated setup. Like I can isolate the audio, and just in case I need it for like if I'm making a video about it. So like the security breach video, yeah, I had it to where in different pieces.